Chat, good morning, good morning. All morning it's morning till it's no longer morning, but right now it's morning. So good morning. Oh, my camera's a bit low today. Hi, everyone. Hi. Hello. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing today? How's everyone doing on this fine... What is it? Monday? Is it Monday today? Yeah, it is. It's Monday, isn't it? Hey, everyone. Welcome to the second annual No Stupid Questions stream. Yay! In this stream, I allow the entirety of my chat to ask questions about Minecraft speedrunning that might confuse them, especially my new viewers. A lot of stuff is kind of confusing, and we will say words quite fast and quite with expectations that people know what they mean. I realize that not everyone knows that, so we have today the Ask Me Anything, No Such Thing as a Stupid Question, which is pretty cool. And for that reason, it's No Stupid Question stream. Yay! Look at me. I'm teaching you between fake and real. This is what this is. Here you go. Now you know. This is why I said ask me anything about MCSR. So that there is occasionally stupid questions, right? Missed opportunity for Aether Portal. Yeah, I just looked up. This is just an actual thumbnail off Google. You know what I mean? I understand that oddly titled, but I did it last time and people understood it pretty quickly. And the explanation is that. And I would have, like, No Such Thing as a Stupid Question stream is really fucking long as a title. So, yeah. You guys can ask anything. I haven't got like a form or anything. It's just gonna be like just drop a message in chat and I'll answer as long as I see it. When should I force flint and when should I go for woodlight? That's a really difficult question. It's a very contextually based question. In my opinion, forcing woodlight quite a lot of the time on desert temples makes a lot of sense, due to the fact that a lot of the time there is a lack of rivers, and also the overlap between woodlight and grabbing more wood and or grabbing food is very advantageous on specifically desert temple seeds. However, you can still get gapped. It's at the end of the day, it's a variance play, and I wouldn't really consider it to be. I wouldn't consider it to be wrong unless, like, to go for a woodlight, unless you've clearly missed obvious flint. Like, it's just not a relevant. It's not a relevant variance play in the majority of situations because of the free access of flint. Just in rivers, oceans, etc., etc., etc. How do you set up the custom walls like top runners in RSG? I don't know. Curryway guide it up. There's like a texture pack, maybe, called Dynamic Wall, which I think you can drag and drop into your resource packs folder, which helps. What would you say is the thing that separates normies like gold M's players and netherite's diamonds? Gold's its speed, emerald's its consistency. To get out of gold, you need to go faster. To get out of emerald, you need to stop dying. Bear in mind, go faster also includes stop dying, but the majority of players in emerald have a sub 10 PB, so their top pace is good enough to hit diamond, but the point is their top pace is too inconsistent, right? You'll look at their average time and it might be 17 minutes because of the deaths, or they might have a very high forfeit rate. It means that they're losing and dying to avoidable situations, which the higher up the ladder you get, you do less of until you get right to the top of the ladder. You're talking your top 50s who will die in unforced errors, mostly because they have to push pace every single time because they're getting pushed to their max by their opponent consistently. You can do a channel reward that costs 1 point and you can just read every single one easier. No? Oh, wait, that's tech. That could be tech. I can make one of those. Yeah, no, that's smart. That's smart. Yeah, let's do that. That's a smart idea. Add new custom rewards. Ask a question about MCSR. One. I guess I can do like 2 redemptions per stream. No, I'll just do 1 and then I'll delete it and make another one later if people really need it. Okay, that should work. Hopefully you guys can see it. Oh, it doesn't have a... Okay, well, all of you now can't ask a question. So why have you done that? Like, that's really clever, isn't it? That's really clever of you all. So now you've all used your 1 question this stream. Congrats. That was smart, wasn't it? Saranin, thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it.
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
I did go to the gym today, yes. I did. So you were going to make a new one? No? Lol? Rejected all and refunded? You shouldn't have done. Well, honestly, you shouldn't have done. They deserved it. On God, they deserved it. Okay, questions in the channel point reward so I can see them all. Questions in the channel point reward so I can see them all, please. Wait, why are they temporarily unavailable? If I played 100 seeds against you, how many do I win? 20? 25? Maybe, Mepsy? I think, if I had to guess. I'd consider 20 to 25, I think. Are all seeds zeroable? And how do you know if a seed is and isn't zeroable? Every end is zeroable. If you're good enough, basically. Hypothetically, there are some impossible seeds to zero. Like, I don't know, maybe there's just a crazy terrain thing where you have like 065 or something like that. And it's just impossible. And so, like, that sucks, but yeah. I'm pretty convinced that basically every seed is zeroable. Some of them you might need more than 4 explosives, but I would say almost every scenario, every tower, and every combination of cage probably is zeroable by someone with the right amount of explosives. So I would say yes to that. Technically, all seeds won't be zeroable because occasionally the dragon flies before it's possible for you to get to a setup. But assuming you remove the RNG aspect of the dragon, yes, all seeds are zeroable. How does Ground Zero work technically? Like, does it force the dragon to purge? Okay, so Ground Zero is a little bit interesting. Ground Zero as a concept means that you shoot out a crystal, meaning that once you shoot out a crystal, the dragon tries to fireball you. After you shoot that crystal, you block yourself into a tube of iron bars with blocks above it, meaning there is only like a 1 or 2 pixel window for the dragon to see you, which it doesn't. It basically can't see you. But what it does is it tries to pathfind towards you so that it can fireball you. And as it paths towards you, it ends up kind of circling you a little bit similarly to how a perch would work. However, it's a bit weird, and you need quite a few explosives to do it. I've never done Ground Zero ever because I don't think it's useful for ranked, given the fact that there's a 3-minute max perch anyway, and Ground Zero's, consistently get the kill in like 2 minutes, but it's like pretty much the same on average, so it makes very little difference. And yeah, hopefully that was a good enough explanation. Zero leniency sheet. Front cage. So yes, the answer is yes. Assuming you are removing the aspect of the dragon RNG and which node it will fly away from, you will consistently be able to zero cycle every single end. Assuming you have a gold pickaxe, or even without a gold pickaxe. There will be some offset and some layer that that works. As you can see from here, this is a very good link. Definitely recommend frontcage.com for all this sort of stuff. Oh, apologies. Oh wait, did we just start grouping them? Oh wait, no, this is front straight. Yeah, that's fine. You just would never push 92 if you're 061. That's fine. Front straight, no gold pickaxe is hard. Back straight, yeah, 88. Ooh, okay. So, I mean, yeah, it's all possible. There is not a single tower combination that has no possibilities on 061. So, yeah. I answered this one as well. Can I do boat eye on 4K monitor? Yes. I believe it's the exact same. I don't think there's any difference because it changes your resolution of your Minecraft to changes the resolution of your Minecraft to like 16378 tall or something. So if you're in 4K, if you're on a 4K monitor, I don't think it makes a difference. Yeah. More of a mental question, but I've been practicing for close to 3 weeks in private rooms without queuing. How do I not be scared of queuing? Might be asking the worst possible person about this, because I also don't like queuing. But at the end of the day, it's night, so no one really cares about your elo apart from yourself. And it's completely up to you, of course. However, in my opinion, queuing up is better than spamming priv rooms unless you're practicing for a reason, or unless you're avoiding queuing for a reason. If you're avoiding queuing just because you're scared, I don't think it's worth it. So, Addicted to your mouth. Might be a silly question, but how does the dragon perch if you're standing at 0, in the end? It's a great question. It's one that I don't know. If you're standing at exactly 0.00 and 0.00, I assume it would perch east-west. But I have no reason to assume that. And it's such a never problem that I don't feel like I need to know the answer. But it's probably one that I'm unsure of, so I would recommend asking someone else. Because this is one that I don't think I know. Why do runners get a lava bucket right as they enter the nether? Main reason is water is useless. So never a need to get water to bring into the nether with you. And then, importantly, it's very helpful for killing mobs. Specifically, the hoglins on bridge. Specifically, random hoglins on your way. Useful to get food if necessary. Useful to bait wither skeletons if necessary. Ugh. Is it in Molly or some girl power? Lava. With a lava, yeah. This is helpful. Withers think that lava is a full block, so by using a lava bucket here, you can bait wither skeletons off the fortress when you've got a lot of them. One of the main reasons that lava is helpful. Alongside, of course, just doing simple things like killing hoglings, killing piglings. So, yeah. There you go. Any tips for back universal side setup? I just cannot figure it out, no matter how much I practice. My tip is watch Camo 6 do it, like, on the Curryway guide. I understand that's not a very helpful tip, but similarly with all zero cycles, timing is difficult, and you will be able to get there with enough practice. I realize that this isn't really a massive... I can't answer this one, really. It's very difficult to answer. But yeah, that's the main plan of things. Just keep practicing, bro. Sorry. I know that's not particularly helpful. I apologize. Happy birthday, Have. Can dragon purchase be standardized because it hurts that the faster runner loses on RNG? Yes, they can be. No, we won't be. There is no reason to standardize dragon purchase because end fights are skill based. The reason that players in Midoffs lost to dragon perch RNG is because of where they're standing in the end, and that is preventable and avoidable. Yes, there is obviously still an aspect of luck, but a lot of the players that had 3-minute max perches stood far too close to the fountain repetitively. So there's a skill issue there rather than a luck issue at heart. Yes, there is still obviously an aspect of luck, but end fights are skill-based, so standardizing them to that degree is unnecessary and not beneficial. Dragon punches are technically standardized, assuming both runners have the exact same movement within the end. The exact same movement within the end is entirely pretty much impossible. However, it's all based on nodes, so it is somewhat likely, assuming that runners do the same thing at roughly the same time, purges kind of are standardized within ranked. Is mechs and decision-making contribute equally in speedrunning? Like, what rank can someone reach with bad mechs and decent decision-making? I have bad mechs, comparatively. I'm bad at parkour and, like, PvP and hotkeying and everything. You can easily reach diamond. But bad mechs is obviously kind of subjective. Very, very difficult to be objective with either mechanics or decision-making. Hence, not really an answerable question. But no, mechanics are far more important at lower ranks, and decision making is far more important at higher ranks. So there you go. See some people do boat in the nether for boat eye. How is that possible? That is simply to calibrate themselves back with the standard boat, because they will be using God sense. By getting in a boat and then getting back out of it, you align yourself with the boat. The concept of God sense is kind of difficult to explain, but I can try. God sense aligns you with this is hard to explain. I can try. Hold on 1 second. How do I best explain this? In my mind, okay, right, let's go. So, when we get into a boat and get out of a boat, it aligns you with a specific angle, which Ninja BrainBot is able to read when you click F3C. By aligning with that specific angle and using a specific sensitivity, it reduces the number of pixels that you're measuring in between in Minecraft. By rotating your mouse and moving it from side to side, you will misalign yourself with pixels, and that will cause pixel skipping. By getting in the boat with a certain sensitivity, that stops you from pixel skipping for a range of different sensitivities. There are 2 sensitivities called God Sense, which have a perfectly divisible sensitivity. However, if you click A, D, or jump within a boat in the rest of the speedrun, this means that you will get misaligned with the perfect angle. However, if you don't do that at all during the run, then you wouldn't have to get back in the boat for boat eye. That is what God sense is, and people boat in the nether so that they realign themselves with the boat. The perfect example of this that I can think of is here, whereby Loki's world record, for example, he boats in the ocean, uses A and D occasionally to spin around, as you can see, so he is now no longer aligned with God sensitivity. As he enters the nether, he doesn't have to use the boat to measure his eyes, he simply has to get in and out of the boat during the speedrun at any point without moving. Notice, he does it right here. That's it. Now he is realigned with the correct pixels so that he can perfectly boat eye when he leaves the nether. Cool. Hope that explains as much of it as you guys need to. I can try and answer it a bit better later if someone else asks. Someone who sucks at speed bridging, is it worth learning how to do ground zero on ranked before getting good enough at speed bridging, or start learning zeros? Or should I just stick with one cycle? No one does ground zero in ranked. It is net neutral. You're learning something that is irrelevant. The vast majority of one cycles don't require speed bridging. It simply requires jumping and good pearls. But if you suck at speed bridging, learn how to speed bridge before learning how to do ground zero. Like, get better at the thing you suck at. Don't learn something new. That's just stupid. Like, that's the wrong mentality to have, in my opinion. So, new thing you need to learn is how to speed bridge. Hope that helps. You think it's a good idea to learn all zero setups in my second month of speedrunning? I already learned all diagonals. What rank are you? It is very relevant. I got my reasons. What rank are you? Call 1, I just forfeit a lot. you are maybe this might be the stupid question. Remember I said there's no such thing as a stupid question? We might have found the stupid question. Brother. This is actually rage bait, no? Bro, load. Oh, why is it not loading? What the fuck? Bro! Is rank down? Why is rank down? It's legit just their account? Okay, well the elo still works, so I'll just use that. I'll just take a screenshot of it. I need it for a short now. So, let me make this clear, right? You already learned all diagonals for 0 cycles. You're in your second month of speedrunning. And out of the 150 matches we've ever played, we have one single completion. One completion. One single completion. Your PB is the same as your average. You've had one successful completion in your 150 games. You forfeit 55% of the runs. Why are we learning how to 0 cycle? We need to learn how to not click the forfeit button. We need to learn how to maybe root a bastion. We need to learn how to, get some food in the overworld. Like, I promise you, there are different things you need to learn before 0 cycle in Cole 1. So as a summary for your question, you think it's a good idea to learn all 0 setups in my second month of speedrunning? I already learned all diagonals. The answer to your question is no, I don't think it's a good idea. I hope that helps. I would recommend going on the Bastion practice map and maybe practicing your Bastions instead. There are only 4 of those. I think you can hopefully get out of Cole if you do that. And maybe also go to your ranked settings and disable the forfeit button. I fear it might have been a rage bait. That's chill. It makes for a funny clip. Do you not kill silverfish because you're one of them? I don't know what this means. I'm not a silverfish. Hope this helps. Thank you. Will you ever do viewer VOD review? Nope. Makes for very bad content, and I wouldn't really find the benefit of it. I know that you guys would, but I'm not really a massively top runner, so I wouldn't really consider it. Definitely wouldn't do it on stream anyway. Do you have any fun phrases to remember things similar to PPBB for the forgetful girlies? No, I really don't. I PPBB for my hotbar. Everything else is kind of just muscle memory at this point. And when you do PPBB enough, it's less like I have to say it. It's kind of natural now. I apologize. I'd just recommend, like, I guess the only other fun phrase to remember is eat more food, throw more gold. It's the advice that I would give to basically anyone in MCSR ranked below Emerald that wants to get better. Hopefully that helps. I'm sorry. I realize that fun phrases would be helpful, but I don't think I have any. How does search crafting work exactly? So, you open the crafting table, then you open the book, and you type in what you want to craft for. So you're searching what to craft for. I don't really know what you're asking. Like, I don't really get it. Like, yeah, you search for what you want to craft for. I don't really know what I don't know what you want me to, I don't know what the how do the pros do it fast as hell? Because they've memorized what they need to type in for certain crafting. Best place to go if you want to practice your search crafting or look up stuff about search crafting, in my opinion, is searchcrafting.bez.dev. You're able to practice a lot of different things. You're able to check what languages do what. So, for example, right, like Ukrainian, you need 15 unique characters. Copying this relevant text to find each individual thing. This is what shows up. This is what shows up, etc., etc. If you were to be in English, you can search up English. And depending on which English you would like, you get different point scores. So, for example, you need this. So, RO gives you all the iron stuff, also carrots. KE for bucket. You then also have WN for white bed respawn anchors, which is really nice. OW, which works for bow and beds, etc. I believe RE works as well, I think. If I remember rightly. Not 100% sure about that, though. You could also weight different things to higher or lower, depending on what it is you find more important within search crafting. Yeah, hopefully that answers your question. Sorry. I know the answer to getting better mechs is just play more, but are there any specific resources around practicing raw mechanics like bridging, fighting, groups of mobs, etc.? No. Not specifically for those things. I mean, yeah, hypothetically bridging, but like, the majority of that stuff's just going to be basic movement, and I don't really know how you'd improve at that apart from to maybe play on like PvP based servers. There is like a practice map for bridging, but like it's not really relevant. Like I just don't see it. You know what I mean? Like I don't think it's fantastic. Best thing I could recommend, in my opinion, is mini practice kit. Spam out some bastion leaves, probably. So you're purling to the fortress and then fighting fortress mobs. Like I don't really know what you mean by fighting groups of mobs. Like the only groups of mobs you'd have to fight are running to a spawner, and then more often than not, you'd want to just avoid them rather than fighting them anyway. We don't really need to kill groups of mobs unless they're blazes. And if you were struggling fighting blazes, then you'd probably say fighting blazes. I don't know. Sorry. I hope I'm not giving you bad advice here. Basically, fortress practice is probably what I'd recommend. Hope that helps. Why is fishing rod not meta for open spawner? Hotbar space, and for some people it is. If you're better, you don't hit blazes off the spawner. Like, top level runners just don't hit blazes off the spawner very often. So I guess it's not relevant for the majority of runs. Do you know what I mean? I just get terribly overwhelmed. Best thing to do when you're overwhelmed by the fortress mobs is like stack up 3 is like usually always the play. And then as you go, place the 3 blocks behind you so that you so that they can't walk through. That's my recommendations. Is a blaze bed always worth doing? Clearing out the spawner is almost always worth doing. Because you specifically never know how good your rates are going to be. Unless you're saving it for a reason, like maybe you feel comfortable exploding, zero cycling with 6 explosives, but not with 5. So maybe you would choose to not blaze bed, but you would still be clearing out the spawner in one way or another. I would pretty much always blaze bed, irrelevant of having the number of rods before, because every next blaze is going to be an independent event. Unless you've killed 19. If you know you've killed 19 blazes exactly and you're hitting a new spawner, if you've killed 19 strays in ranked and are hitting a new spawner, maybe you can find a reason not to blaze bed. If you don't wanna, well, don't then. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm just saying it's pretty much always worth doing. For if you want a faster time. If you don't want to have a faster time, don't. Like, it's completely up to you, you know? How to improve consistency and or speed in speedrunning. Eat more food, throw more gold. Die less. That's the way you die less, and that's the way you improve your consistency. Improving speed is way more difficult. And that's practice. Just like grind practice of specific aspects and get better at those specific aspects. That's it. That's all you can do. How to find the guaranteed lava pool on Null Island Seeds like Village. Is it always pos? No, I don't believe it is. Your intended structure will always be pos, I believe, but not the guaranteed lava pool. I believe it's usually like 8 chunks, roughly, between Source of Iron and lava pool at most. So good luck. Occasionally, try like the best method I have is like, you know, you'll look for high ground, F5. Keep looking around as best as you can. Try and notice fire or stone from far away. That's all you can really do. That's all I can recommend. Hard mode, something that Poundcake likes to do. So if you want to, yeah, I like that's an idea. Can you explain quadrants for nether structures? Yep. There you go. That's it. That's quadrants. These continue every 432 blocks. But yeah, I googled the word nether quadrants, and this is your this explains absolutely everything. Green is where a fortress or bastion can spawn. Red is neither can generate. Green will give you a fortress or a bastion, and there is a border around the 0-0, which of 64 blocks wide that can't spawn anything. that repeats. That's it. That's your that's it. That's your quadrants explanation. I hope that. What the fuck am I even looking at? What do you need explaining? What's more difficult that you don't understand? What's complex about this that we're not getting? Yes, it's one structure per quadrant. Fortress or Bastion will spawn in one of the four in each quadrant. In 116, Basalt can override a Bastion, so you can occasionally have nothing spawning in those quadrants. In 1.19 onwards, maybe 1.20 onwards, in the newest version, at the very minimum, Basalt does stop Bastions from spawning, but if the game tries to spawn a Bastion in the Basalt, then it will instead spawn a Fortress. Only in the newer version. In 1.16, which is what 99% of speedrunners use, Basalt biomes can override the spawn of Bastions, and nothing can spawn in quadrants because of that. How to apply this when speedrunning? If I... One second. If I ran from my home portal to my Bastion, which is here, right? Here's my Bastion. I found my Bastion. Oh no, it's a treasure Bastion. Oh no, it's a treasure Bastion. I'm behind. What am I going to do? Here's my treasure. I wonder which quadrant should I check? Do you think I go this way and check the close quadrant, or do I go check the far quadrant that's down here? Or I'm in random seed glitchless. I'm playing random seeds. Oh, I'm going this way. I need to push my pace. This is a treasure bastion. I'm going this way. Or in RSG, I noticed that I have a bastion and a bastion. Both of them on spawn. It means which way would I go when I go to one of my bastions? Not this way and not this way, because there's not going to be any fortresses here, because that's basically the gist of it, okay? It's based solely on like what you're considering to be optimal in this situation. Just go to the closest and pray. I'm not saying that. I'm saying you should do your pie chart the majority of the time, but it's relevant in a limited number of scenarios. So equally, let me reopen that tab. Hold on, 1 second, chat. Also, specifically, let's say I go to my bastion and I am here's my bastion, right? Right, I've got my bastion. My bastion is here. And when I spawn here, hi, I'm here. I do my pie chart. My pie chart says that my closest fortress is this direction. Huh. What is that all about? In ranked, you will have a fortress within 16 chunks of spawn. So, if I know that my closest spawner is north and I am here, that means that it is most likely to be here. Well, okay, not strictly like that, right? But you see the vision. You understand the idea, right? If I know it's north, then it's like north 5 chunks or something, then it's probably here. Okay? I hope that makes sense. Because it would not be up here in the next, in extra regional quadrants. It will be a cross and up. It would not be down. It would not be this one. So you know where the fortress is. So rather than just going straight the way your pie chart says, you're able to go straight and a little bit off to the right towards where the fortress will actually be. Does that make sense? Hope that makes sense. The most ridiculous bastion route that is an actual route you know, or the most interesting in your opinion? Personally, like, the most ridiculous one that's used, I think, is Sug. I think it's awesome, and I think it's high in mechanics and has a lot of flashy shit. Ones that aren't used and that are there's 100 ridiculous Bastion routes that exist, right? Single triple like is stupid. For example, everyone's spamming Jimbo James route. No one even knows what that is. You don't even know. I would say 2/3 of you have never done a Jimbo James route in your life. Nor probably watched one. Have you? No. No, I haven't. And I have no idea what it is because no one uses it and it's not relevant. Triple to Chalice. Yeah. But that's not, it's not an optimal triple to Chalice route. When we find an optimal triple to Chalice route, then maybe it'll be relevant. But this is not, it's not optimal. So. Welcome back, Scissors. Mcsr is booming these days. Get your sub 10, bro. Get your goddamn, come back, get your sub 10. On God. On God, you're making it back and we're getting a sub 10. Yeah. How do people build the zero setup so fast without falling off? How do I answer this? How do I answer this? This is Jimbo James' route. It's just not going to be relevant, though. You're showing me a route that's not worth learning. On my life, no one's hitting this. On my whole life, nobody's hitting this. Like, what are we talking about? I've won ranked matches because of this. All right. Well, I'm glad you have. It's not relevant for 643 of the 645 people watching right now. Let me tell you that. It's just like I'm not learning it. I don't think any diamond level ranked matches are going to be decided by that. Maybe just the netherite. You know what I mean? Maybe just your netherite. What's wrong with that route? Nothing. I just wouldn't recommend people learn it because I think contextually you have to be a very, very high skilled runner to understand when that's a good thing to do. And if I would recommend people learn it, people in Cole 1 have started learning zeros. You know what I mean? Like, people in Cole are going to start hitting Jimbo James when they're at the Chalice, and then they fucking force top left triple, and then come back to the Chalice afterwards. Like, it low-key is a netherite. It is low-key just a netherite. Netherite only route. How do people build the zero setup so fast without falling off? Shift. They use their crouch key. They've got a lot of practice. I really don't know how to answer this. Do you often fall off your zero setup towers? My recommendation would be focus on going up rather than out and go out in increments. Because there's no, like, the majority of the time people spend building zero cycle setups is going up, not going out. Apart from in 1 and 8 towers, right? So, in reality, if you're falling off, that's probably just because you're trying to build out all at once, maybe? But yeah, just crouch more, I guess. How to practice getting to coords and finding terrain for coords. Mini practice kit, blinded, split. Blind to stronghold, split is how to practice getting to coords. Finding terrain to fort, that is mostly experience. I hate to say that one. But again, things like learning your quadrants so you can understand which direction fortresses have to be, i.e., oh, okay, I've scanned, it's north, but that doesn't make sense. It has to be north and east. So let me see if maybe there's terrain to my east that then opens up to the north. Would be a smart thing to do. It adds an extra thinking step, but it can save you a lot of time if you're finding terrain the correct direction. I think that's a fair answer. Hopefully that makes sense. People are happy. If you were to start speedrunning today with zero knowledge, what would you focus on learning first? One cycle. Basically, you do everything backwards. One cycle. Calculator. Bastions. I would recommend doing Pydar after Bastions. Then learning how to build a nether portal. Underwater and overworld. That is it. That is all you have to do to learn how to speedrun. You could probably get a sub 20 with that knowledge. I recommend doing one cycles first because they're the most punishing thing if you get it wrong. So just do that first. It's more important to learn how to kill the dragon than to, let's say, navigate the stronghold, for example, because you will eventually do it. With killing the dragon, if you're using beds, you might not eventually do it. Like, sure, yes, you will then be able to layer your knowledge, but I think the raw foundations are how to enter the nether, how to get your pearls, how to find a fortress, how to find the stronghold, how to kill the dragon. Those are your 5 main pillars of Minecraft speedrunning. That's it. Basic fortress routing is good, yeah, but it's not relevant. Like, to this specific situation, if you're starting speedrunning today, learning fortress navigation is not relevant. It's not relevant so that you can start. That's something that you can layer on top once you've learned how to find the fortress. You know how to find the fortress, you'll get to the spawner, or you'll get your 6 blaze rods, one way or another. The point is, we need to build the 5 pillars of knowing how to speedrun, and then from there, you could improve the speedrun. Okay? You can learn FortNav in like 30 seconds. I'd say it's worth it. You can learn how to find buried treasures in a minute. I could teach you how to find buried treasures within a minute, but I'm not saying for people to do that at the start when they're first starting speedrunning, because it's more important to do the 5 things that we need to do to actually kill the dragon. You know what I mean? Why are people asking for advice for a 10-minute RSG PB, dude? You first time chatted in here and decided to go, oh, you know what the first thing I'll do is? I'll check my personal best and then decide to shit on me. Because I've been speedrunning the game longer than you've probably had a Twitch account, mate. Why are you coming in here being all aggy? Because I've seen every era of 116 Minecraft speedrunning, because I think that I am probably the best Minecraft speedrunning analyst out of anyone that could possibly do the job. And because I don't run RSG and I haven't in the last 3 years. Hope this helps. Maybe because I've coached countless players so that I understand what a lot of new players to the scene think. Anyway, Maybe he'll reply in a few minutes once he thought of a good response to me. So we'll find out, you know. Yes, the 5 pillars are going to be, in my opinion, how to enter the Nether, how to get your pearls, i.e., bastions, how to find the fortress, how to find the stronghold, i.e., calculator, and how to kill the dragon, i.e., 1 cycles. Now, why did we elo check him? Now I feel like I've got. Now I feel like an idiot. Now I feel rude. I was actually being. I was being nasty. I was being nasty to him because he was a dick to me. Now I feel sorry for him. Now I feel sorry. Sorry. I actually am apologizing. I actually feel sorry for him. Maybe you need to step. Have you got a question? Maybe a 10-minute PB guy will be able to help you out, low key. If you've got any questions, you can submit them in the channel points section. $10-minute RSG PB might actually be able to help you out, low key. How is speedrunning while drunk? Fucking terrible. Never do this shit. Genuinely never do it. Like, on God, never do it. Like, it's not beneficial. Not at all good. I just, like, I've done it multiple times. Clearly, people that have done speedrunning while drunk aren't actually fucking drunk. Because, like, the last time I speedrun while drunk, I forgot everything. I forgot everything, bro. Like, absolutely everything. It's unreal. Anyway. In what order would you recommend learning the different towers for zeros? Everything up to Y90. What is it? 90. Dude, I'm forgetting what the fucking tower heights are because I look at targeted blocks, so they're always 1 higher for me. Or 1 lower even. Everything up to 91 is the same, right? Yeah, everything up to 91 is the same. Effectively. Kind of. So, I'd recommend starting at, like, 85, because it's the easiest, and then you learn timings of beds from that, and then learn everything up to 91, and then learn 1 in 8, and then learn side setups.
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
Yo, Bluetooth 2. Thank you for the prime. Appreciate you. When is it worth it to play for strays, and when should I stick to / find a spawner? Basically always in RSG. And when you're playing strays, you should be trying to find a spawner. When you're at a spawner, there's very, very few times where you should then start playing for strays. I think that there are a few scenarios, especially in ranked, where you're at a spawner, maybe you've got 5 rods, you've just blinded, your opponent's ahead, and you want to push pace, so you have to pearl onto the 2 strays that you see in the distance towards your second portal. Very useful, right? Very, 75% of the time you at least get 1 rod there, and then you should be able to leave off that. However, that is still a variance play. I would consider sticking to a spawner basically always, though. Especially at lower elo. How good of a computer do I need to get into MCSR? I played on a laptop for 3 years. You don't need that. You don't need that much. I can't really answer that. Like, I don't specifically know the answer. But I don't think you need a crazy good computer to get into MCSR. I think ranked especially isn't hardware dependent. Yeah. I think for RSG, if you're resetting 15 worlds at a time, yeah, that's going to be hard. But for ranked, you're playing one world. It's like, if you can run Minecraft on it at a decent speed, you know, you've got your 60 FPS, then yeah, great. Like, that's it, really. In my opinion. Does it make sense to leave learning Bastion roots for last since they feel the most complicated out of all the basics? No. If something's the most complicated thing to do, you need the longest time learning it. So it makes really the most sense to start learning there. I usually implore my students to start with one cycling first because it's the most important. Okay, sorry, let me correct myself there. It's the most punishing if wrong. So it is arguably the most important to get correct. Bastions are the most difficult to learn because there's more of them, or more routes. And my opinion stands that you should put the Bastion routes learning first because it gives you the most time to practice it. Hope that makes sense. Seem to always lose so much time in the overworld to the air. Sorry, that's a really funny way of playing it. I always save so much time in the nether, but is the overworld just mechs based or am I just bad? I also am terrible at overworlds, comparatively to my elo skill. I'm much better at post fortress, like post blind splits. I make up a lot of time. A lot of it is based on knowledge and consideration of what you're going to do next. You kind of need to plan the route in your head to plan what it is that you're going to do next. So it's a lot of thinking based stuff. Like, okay, so rather than just thinking, I'm going to go to the blacksmith, it's, I'm going to go to the blacksmith. I notice my food. I can see the house that I'm going to get my first blaze bed from. You know, the golem's wandering over in that direction. I saw the gravel earlier. Where's the lava pool? When I pillar up for the golem, I'm going to look for the lava pool. Okay, we've got 3 diamonds. That means that I'm going to have to kill golem and blah. Like, you have to think as many steps ahead as you can, so that you can kind of plan the route in your head. The best way of me describing this is, oh, what the fuck? Oh, Natty changed his thing. Wait, what the hell? Did he change the thumbnail? He changed the thumbnail. What the fuck? This is like, I think, a really funny thumbnail that allows you to kind of explain what I'm talking about. I understand that it's a thumbnail for a video, but it kind of actually explains exactly what I'm thinking about. It's like a it's the consideration between how you're gonna plan your path for the overworld, and I understand that technically the drawings on them are irrelevant, but it all actually depends on really which way you're doing everything versus, you know, for example, you know, what someone could do to route things easily rather than, you know, hopping between and zigzagging around and then finding your lava pool, you know? And honestly, it can just be practice based. Like, a lot of the stuff you can do like crafting practice. But I think a lot of it in the overworld is just thinking about what you're doing next. Hope that makes sense. Decision making at the very top level. So, the difference between your 20th place runner and your first place runner is mostly decision making. I think that's been prevalent in a lot of playoffs where the smallest decisions can make seconds worth of difference. That can be the difference between winning and losing a seed. That's what I would consider it to be, personally. That's what I would say separates great players from the best. Do you know what I mean? Question from Sol. Coordinate Cup newbie here. What are Bastion routes? How do they work? And what are the examples? So that's a very conceptual question. Bastion routes are ways that speedrunners find gold in bastions and trade them with piglins so that we can get barters. Barters include pearls, most importantly, fire resistance, obsidian, string, blocks, and other miscellaneous items. How do they work? We aggravate piglins, put them in a hole, and then trade gold that we steal from the bastion by throwing gold ingots, and then they give us relevant trades. What are the examples? There are 4 bastions. There are multiple different routes for each bastion, depending on where you spawn. The vast majority of routes can boil down to, I would consider 6. However, one of them has about 40 different variations. Treasure has only 1. Treasure has 1. Housing has 2. Either top down or manhunt. Top down if you're spawning at the top. Manhunt if you're spawning towards the bottom. There is other... Obviously, there's other routes. I'm just making this very basic. Stables, the most prevalent route is triple to gap. Irrelevant of where the triple is and where the gap is, they kind of, you know, you'll have to look up all of the different examples of these. And then bridge, you have Donkey Kong and Soog being, or some variation of Crack Smoker, basically being between whether you go to the left rampart or the right rampart, depending on whether there's a triple chest there or a single chest that spawns. Hope that answers the question. Yeah, hopefully that explained it all. Yeah, we can pause. We can pause it here if you want, I guess. Hi, Fulham. Do you think it's stupid to use a 100 DPI profile on my mouse for boat eye instead of going through setup with GodSense? How much pixel skipping is tied to in-game sense? Assuming I use 0.5 cents from options.txt. Pixel skipping is entirely based on in-game sense and nothing to do with your DPI. That's the answer to your question. Pixel skipping is entirely tied to in-game sensitivity. Nothing to do with your DPI at all. Tool screen will also make this trivial, as people in chat are saying, because there is a option within tool screen that allows you to change your sensitivity. It effectively gives you a third axis of sensitivity. So you have your DPI, your in-game sensitivity, and then your tool screen sensitivity, meaning that any combination can now be, you have to fix your Minecraft sensitivity to be GodSense, and then any combination of DPI now works because you can then toggle your tool screen sensitivity to make it work. Hope that makes sense. There are tutorials out there for tool screen sensitivity stuff already. I think Carter has a good one. Since I got a new mouse, my Ninja Rain bot stopped working properly, so I decided to re-download the bot, and now F3C doesn't work, even though the open command is set to K, and I can't get the bot to work again. I'm not tech support. I have no fucking idea. Like, my fault. So, like, I would say there's an option in the Ninja Brain bot saying like use alternative clipboard reader. Try that. If that doesn't work, ask someone that knows more about tech than I do. Sorry. What's the best no-calc way to find the stronghold? Is it still access calculated? Yeah. Yes. Easiest question I've had. Yes, it is. There will be probably no better way than access calculated. How to get good. Practice. What's the best way to break bad habits without losing a bunch of elo? E.g. I offhand blocks and sometimes scroll if I'm not paying attention. Private rooms, I guess. Breaking bad habits requires you to relearn things, and it requires you to lose elo. That is unfortunately the sacrifice you make for long run. No pain, no gain. No socks, no shoes, no hair, no haircut. So at the end of the day, it's night, and you're gonna have to lose elo to get better in this situation. So lose the elo. That's it. How do top runners identify which bastion it is so quickly? Treasure's easy. Bridge is easy. Housing and stables, I still mess up occasionally. Can't believe that I remember it because of a pound cake analogy. But 2 is poo, 3 is yippee. So if there are 2 blocks between your chests in a triple rampart, it's poo, i.e. stables. And if there are 3 blocks between your chests in a triple rampart, it's yippee, i.e. it is housing. I can't believe that I've had to say that out loud, that President Poundcake has helped me. But yeah. Oh, here you go. Here's exactly what I'm talking about. Stables has a 2-block gap here, and housing has a 3-block gap here. W Poundcake. 2 is poo, 3 is yippee. There you go. That's it. Sorry that the image is 195 pixels by 259. It's just the only one that I found, but there you go. That's your explanation. Actually, like, blurry ab thing. Hopefully that explains it. Apart from that, we use other context clues. Like, with stables, we can tell a lot of the time because of your entity count. Treasure is so different to all of the others. Bridge, specifically, it's wide and long. It's, like, weird. And you can see, like, the spindle coming down from the chalice quite a lot of the time. Nice one, Bacta. Good stuff. Follow him home. When can we train? Son. What are we training, bro? We can train right now, and it starts with you going on the Bastion practice map for 5 hours. Good luck. Good luck, man. That's it. That's your homework. Nah, man. Arms and chest. Hey, I did legs today. It was legs day. It was legs day today, okay? Chill on me. Oh, 1+3 always possible. How the fuck do I know? 1+3 is a stupid concept that will eventually work, and someone will eventually do it in a ranked game, and it will be awesome. But we're not at that era yet. You're asking me if AI is taking over the world. You're asking me if AI replaces humanity. Like, maybe in the future, but right now I have no fucking idea. You know what I mean? I'm not the person that's going to start the 1+3 revolution. So, No. I will say it isn't always possible because I can't do it. There you go. How do pearl hangs work? Fuck, I'm gonna have to crack out the paint on that. There's probably a faster way of doing this. Fuck, these chunks are not squares. Let's pretend that they are, okay, chat? How about that? Let's pretend that they're all squares, yeah? Pretend that they're all squares, alright? Let's pretend that they're all squares. Hey, hi, it's me. Look, this is me. Wait, hold on. Bigger brush width. Hey, look, this is me. Oh, wow. I see my fortress is in this direction. Yay. Look, I see my fortress. Woohoo. I'm still trading in my bastion. Here's my bastion. Yay, I'm trading. I want to go to my fortress, but I don't want to go there yet because I need to go pick up all my trades. What do? I throw a pearl. Yippee. As I throw my pearl, I'm throwing it across chunk borders. When the pearl is in a chunk like this that is far away from us, I can reduce our render distance from a lot down to 2. When I reduce my render distance down to 2, it means that it loads these chunks around me, i.e. 2 chunks away. If I was to then move back away from my, if I was to move back away from my pearl, hold on, I'm going to do it like this. Here's my 2 chunks that I've loaded. If I move back away from my pearl, like this, then the area that I have is still now not loading this pearl. I'm moving back to my bastion. Here you go. I'm now back in the bastion. And I'm keeping my chunks on 2 render distance. So that means that I'm loading all of these chunks around. But my pearl is now in unloaded chunks outside of my render distance. When I increase my render distance again, like this, I increased it back to 10. Now the pearl is back in loaded chunks, meaning that I instantly, bing, get teleported to where my pearl was. I hope that that makes sense. Hopefully that kind of explained it all as well as I could have done. Did that make sense? I really hope so. When the pearl is outside of your loaded chunks, i.e. In this scenario here, the pearl is now in the red here. When it's outside of your loaded chunks, the pearl hovers or hangs in perpetuity until it then gets loaded again when we increase our render distance or mistakenly cross a chunk boundary and load it in ourselves. But when we increase our render distance like this, for example, boom, your pearl will land. You will instantly get teleported to where your pearl was. Thanks for explaining. I get it now. Yay! Why does standing further from the fountain make the dragon perch slower? It doesn't. I hope this helps. Standing further from the fountain makes the dragon perch faster. That's, yeah. So the answer to your question is, it doesn't. I don't... Assuming you meant to say the other way around, standing further from the fountain makes the dragon perch faster, I don't fucking really know. Something nodes, something circling, something distance. No, not this one. It's part 2. Here we go. Here we go. Does that clear it up? I hope that cleared it up. You stand really, really far away, you reduce the strafe chance, but if it does roll a strafe, it takes the dragon ages to get there. If you stand really close, you get strafe chances really, really often. There are 3 phases of an M fight. Normal, strafe, and perch approach. When the dragon strafes, it tries to fireball you. If it can't find you, it has to fly over and find you, and then fireball you. So standing close is good for that reason. But by standing close, you increase the chance of strafe and reduce the chance of perch approach. So, standing further from the fountain makes the dragon perch faster, on average, assuming you're not standing 100 blocks away, because it would take really long if you low rolled. So, the optimal place to stand is 70 blocks away. There you go. Can you link vid? Yeah, of course I can. Here you go, Pookie. Love you, Kalev. Did you get to the gym in time? Yeah, I was like 30 minutes later than expected, but that wasn't really my fault. And Lauren was very understanding and very happy, so everything was good. I also cooked a banger steak sandwich today. A banger steak sandwich. Woof! Sheesh. I got the goddamn rump on the rump on the fryer, bro. Why did MCSR rank never refund never refund Elo for any reason? I don't know. I don't own the mod. I think that they should. For certain mistakes, it might not be a functionality. So, there you go. I am not MCSR ranked. I am MCSR ranked playoffs. I do not know the answer. Completed. How does crouch clutch work? Is it tick perfect? It is not allowed in Minecraft speedrunning glitchless. Hence, I don't know how to do it. And I don't know anything about it. I apologize. Technically, this is a question about Minecraft speedrunning. But for glitchless categories, it is not. I do not run glitched categories. I don't know. I apologize. Favorite SSG seed? This is a personal question, not really an MCSR question, but it is tangentially related. My favorite SSG seed will always probably be Dolphin. However, I do have a soft spot for Flint seed as well. Those are my 2 favorites. People are happy. Does it make it legal in ranked? No, it is not legal in ranked. Dolphin's Peak. I quite like Gravel Seed, but it's just a soft spot. It's definitely not my favorite, but I have a soft spot for it because I beat Gravel Seed with a guitar, which is fucking awesome. Like, how many people can say that they've beaten Minecraft with a fucking guitar? Me, I can. So, yeah, that's my yippee moment. Can Stronghold Portal be made to snap to starter room in a what? What? Hold on. Fuck. Let me translate. Can Stronghold Portal be made to snap to starter room in a radius, so although there is lenience in building portal, it avoids portaling into portal room? This is a ranked question. No, we will not be doing this. If you portal into portal room, well done, you rolled the 4% chance of that happening. The other 96% of the time, you will spawn in a random part of the stronghold, which is irrelevant. And or in a cave above or below, not inside the stronghold. If you hit portal room, good, well done. You got lucky. Congrats. That's it. People can get lucky in Minecraft. We're not going to remove the aspect of luck. How many pigs should I expect are in a left or right triple to gap? I get 7 to 11 on practice, but way more on middle triple to gap. Middle triple to gap is easier. If you are on left or right triple to gap, you should be getting more than 11. You probably lose aggro on some of them as you fall down from... Oh, fuck, I'm going to have to open up Minecraft, aren't I? I'm just going to have to open up Minecraft. It's just what I have to do. So there's no way I'm going to be able to explain all this shit. I'm going to have to open up Minecraft. Triple to gap. The majority of the pigs that you will probably lose, you will lose some here, maybe, occasionally. The majority of the pigs that you will lose, in my opinion, are here. So when you do this block, you go here. You've got angry pigs now. 1, 2, 3, across. At this point, when you break this, sometimes they lose their anger, and they're not happy enough to fall down here because they're not still angry at you. Some will go wandering. You will lose maybe a couple of pigs up here. This is why, after breaking through here, I'd always recommend like punching a guy, or maybe breaking a gold block. This allows pigs to come through from this side. Also, especially beware of if you have a double in the middle, pigs can't get from up here to down onto the staircase. So breaking a block here is always useful. And also placing these blocks prevent any pigs from wandering this way, because often you can find pigs just being stupid over here, trying to get to you. Those are my recommendations. Re-aggro down here whenever you can, and then yeah, that's that. I think you should be getting more. Your middle triple to gap is probably better because of this, and if the problem with your left and right triple to gap is that you're not getting the middle pigs, that is a problem. And if you're missing middle pigs, it could be because of this block, and it could also be because you're just not connecting the sides. Same on this side. If you were to be connecting the sides, we'd need to connect them, like... not like that, because I'm a brick. Not like that either. What the fuck am I doing? Oh, because this is a bad gap. That makes sense. Okay. But you would connect this side, right? Okay, I can't think of it conceptually from the bad gap. But you can basically punch out these blocks and get there. That was why I couldn't quite comprehend it in my brain. Yeah, so hopefully that explains it. Hopefully you can get a couple more pigs in triple gap. When you have 5 explosives, is it better to blaze bed or 0? Blaze bed. Almost always. Then hit the 4 explosive 0 if you're good. No, that is a tough one. If you specifically, Banana Butter, probably don't have to worry about this exact question. I think that this is specifically a very, 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 very difficult thing that matters for people that can hit 5 explosive zeros. if you can hit every single tower with a 5 explosive 0, maybe you have other things that you need to worry about rather than blaze betting, because I don't think I know your name from the top 100. So I understand that the question's still valid, irrelevant of whether you're in top 100 or not, but I think that, and I'm not trying to be insulting when I say that either. It's a genuine thing. More often than not, at my elo and people around my elo and below, blaze bet, like almost always. If you're playing V-Strid and you have 5 explosives and you don't know whether to blaze bet or 0, I'm probably not the guy to ask. But as far as I know, I don't think you're going to be netherite at the moment, so probably not the most pressing question. And therefore, my answer would basically always be blaze bet. So, yeah, hope that's okay of an answer. When you start pushing up to the netherite, then this question can be more of a debate. That's not something that I'm going to have right now. Hope that makes sense. Sorry, I'm not trying to. Yeah, I'm not trying to be an asshole when I say that. Is what I'm trying to explain. Why sometimes while doing 2x1 you can't grab 2 lava without door? Don't know what the fuck you mean, Decept. Like, just timing? Like, I don't know. Like, you could, like, it's likely gonna be. You can't grab second lava without placing the door. It's peculiar. He's not talking about LeBron. He's talking about the normal 2x1. There you go. Chat answered. I still don't really understand the question, but chat seemingly does. So I'll let you guys explain it. There you go. How does one shot work? Like, technically, I think it's so cool when I see it, even though I don't really know what's going on. Fuck. Where the fuck is it? Ah, here. Wait, why did the... I swear there was a... Ah, sorry, here it is. How does one shot work? Sorry, I should have skipped to the relevant part. There you go. Oh.
Using the arrow's velocity. So a higher arrow velocity means a higher arrow damage. There is no limit to this damage. Note, this does not apply to crossbows. Crossbows shoot at a fixed velocity and do not work with one shot. While the dragon is fully perched, it may not deal damage to the player, but it does still deal knockback. just without moving the player. In other words, it increases the player's server-side velocity, which only gets translated to actual movement or client-side velocity when the player takes damage. And arrows only care about server-side velocity, not client. The way the dragon knockback is calculated can be simplified to 8 divided by the distance between the player and the center of the dragon. Since the distance is the denominator, as it approaches 0, the amount of knockback dealt shoots up. So if the player gets close enough to the center of the dragon, they can gain such a high server-side velocity that if they shoot an arrow, it can go fast enough to deal enough damage to kill the dragon in one shot. Note, this is an oversimplification on how dragon knockback works. Circuit has a great video on this. Go watch it for a more detailed explanation. First problem.
There you go. There you go. Hopefully that explained enough. It's based on player velocity due to dragon knockback, but you don't take the knockback until you take damage. And so, yeah. I can send the video if you guys would like. So you can have the link. One shot is not considered a glitch, no. At least not in Minecraft speedrunning as of right now. Do I switch to Norwegian if I'm already on Danish, or is Norwegian only better / time save over Danish if you're top 0.01 in Mex already? There is no true best search crafting language agreed on by top runners. You do what you want. If you're already on Danish, you should probably stay on Danish. Again, I would direct you towards the search crafting searchcrafting.bez.dev or the search crafting spreadsheet. There's a big spreadsheet on it that came out that's absolutely fantastic. And I'd recommend that for sure. So there you go. That's what I'd recommend. I probably wouldn't recommend switching personally. There you go. Just wondering, what part of speedrunning do you think is the hardest? Like something everyone has at least a bit of trouble with. Every part people have trouble with. There's no part that is easy. I would say that the hardest part of speedrunning to a newcomer is, well, to the majority of players, I would say is Bastions. I think at the very, very top level, sorry, at a higher level, I would consider it to be Strongholds, because Stronghold Nav is where lots of games are won and lost, because of the disparity between top speed and not top speed. Whereas Bastions, when you get to a high level, are to most of it, like, majority-wise have already been solved. Like, there will be a best route for every Bastion that will be optimal, to some, at least to what we consider. And there is an optimal, obviously, Stronghold path every time, but knowing it is not always easy. So, I would say those. Hopefully that kind of explains somewhat. Yeah, cool. Does E-rating work on newer versions of Minecraft? I don't really know, mate. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't think it really does, to be fair. I don't believe so. Broken on newest? No, it doesn't. Yeah, that's what I thought. I don't think it does work, unfortunately. Can the devs possibly make the latest version speedrunning faster than 1.16? No. I will confidently say no at this point. There will not be a version faster than 1.16.1. Like, sure, you hypothetically can get maybe like a faster set seed, but like no is the real answer. No. So Yeah, there you go. So many things to learn in MCSR. How can I always know what I should learn or improve to save the most time? Especially if I'm rather bad and could improve at basically everything. I really hope this is your IGN. You asked me this question. I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you the goddamn answer. So, enjoy this. This is you. Your average finish is in the bottom 20% of gold players. Your season best is in the bottom 24% of gold players. Your forfeit per loss is 28%. You forfeit too much. Your completion rate is 40% and your quote-unquote throw rate is 43%. You die in 22% of bastions and 21% of fortresses and 23% of end fights. Stop going for 0. You probably go for too many zeros that you can't do if you're dying in 23% of end fights. Or stop looking at Enderman. Finally, enter the Nether faster. Work on your overworlds. Your overworlds are substantially worse than any other part of this graph. Bastions, fortresses, and blinds, they're fine. You can easily get to gold 2 / maybe gold 3 with those splits. I would recommend, if you're not going for 0, you need to focus on not dying in the end fight. That is by far and away the worst thing that you could do, especially in gold elo. Work on your 1 cycles, work on your perch practice. That is by far the most important thing you can do. Next most important thing you can do is enter the Nether faster. Work on your overworlds. Practice overworlds in a private room and just spam them out. Reset when you just see change when you get into the Nether. There you go. Sorry. You asked the question, I'm going to answer it. It's not like, it's not pretty. I'm not going to, you know, I'm not, it's like, I'm sorry. You know what I mean? I hope it can be helpful though. Hopefully you can get into Emerald soon, bro. Is it true that they call you the bad bunny of MCSR? I don't think so. I don't think anyone has ever called me that. I hope that helps. How to make Bastion Split less clumsy. I can run the route like it's nothing, but the moment I have to think about PyDart inventory, it falls apart. PPBB, split your string and pearls, and then high chart. Like, it's just gonna be practice, unfortunately. This is a shit answer to a question. Hotbar analysis says that the best possible hotbar leaving the Bastion is tools, boat, gravel, soul sand, bed, pearls, potion. That will consistently be the best Bastion leaving hotbar split. Get used to that. Get a consistent hotbar. That will help your inventory management. And maybe before the fortress, either set up your PyDar, i.e. maybe in the portal overlap for the 4 seconds that you have, or spam more wide macros so you can find the fortress earlier. Those are my true recommendations, but apart from that, practice more. And I know that's a stupid thing for me to say. Hello! Could you show me the trick to travel in the Nether with the in, out of the boat, like timing and keys? And what should I do if I enter the end without crying or obby? And one more thing, if it's not, could you check my stats and how to improve more? Sure. F5, go forward, get out of the boat, click back in. Go forward, get out of the boat, click back in. That's it. That's literally all you have to do. Just make sure you get out of the boat and get back in relatively quickly. So if I wanted to go really far, I would do something like this. This increases the distance which your boat can travel versus just falling straight down. By a substantial distance, as you can see. Like, that's about double. So, that's how you do that. What should I do if I enter the end without crying or Robbie? How the fuck have you done that? You threw it out. Don't. There's no way you went through an entire Bastion route without having access to crying obsidian or obsidian. So, don't throw it out. That's that like if you're really asking what I would do in that situation is full block 1 cycle. I'm not showing you that. Can't have withdraw vote, respect. If it's not too much, could you check my stats? And yeah, sure. I don't know what elo range you're in, so I won't really be able to tell comparatively to gold. But you are in Emerald 1. You have decent splits. Let me compare you to Emeralds. What if 20 obby and they crafted it all into anchors? Don't. Or you can use an anchor, as people are saying in chat. Here you go. Here's your split performances. Your fortress is in the bottom 2% of Emerald players. So that needs to be improved. That is, that's the glaring issue. Everything else is just generally getting a little bit faster. Your Bastion is quite slow, I would personally say. And the blind to stronghold split can easily be improved by spamming mini practice kit. Yeah, hope that's okay. Definitely fortress to stronghold split is what's most important for you. Maybe learning better blaze beds, being comfortable with it, assuming where your spawners are, pre-crafting blaze bed in the bastion to make sure you can blaze bed fast, like things like that. Small improvements will make a lot of difference, because I'm sure that the top 10% of players won't have like a sub 2 fortress in Emerald or anything. So, you know, there isn't like a ton of time to save. And even though it says you're in the bottom 2%, it's not horrible. You probably need to save like a minute per fortress, but you can do that. Like, also, bear in mind, mine will be terrible when I compare myself to diamonds, right? Because I am in Diamond 1, and this is comparing me to people like Danny Boy, who are in Diamond 3. Like, it's not the same. Like, when you're comparing to the entirety of your rank. So, because you're in Emerald 1, you're comparing yourself to all of the Emerald 1s and Emerald 2s and Emerald 3s. So, it's not like that graph is massively horrible. Here you go, here's mine. Like, just to show that I'm not, like, trying to piss people off. Like, my graph is terrible as well, right? I am bad at every split in comparison to diamonds. Because on average, if you look at an average diamond player, they are 1800 elo. Or 1775 or whatever, right? So, me at 1570 elo, I'm going to be in the bottom 50% in most of these. So, yeah, there you go. I die too much in the end. and I don't reset, meaning that my end fights take a lot longer. Equally, if you have low forfeit percentages, these will be higher than other people's. So don't stress. Which split do you think is the most telling of a person's elo? Just got to be Bastion. Just has to be Bastion. Just has to be a Bastion split. Like, it's so telling. Even just the difference between like a 140 and a 130 Bastion split, or like a 150 and a 130 is like so huge. Has to be a Bastion split. That's it. Aim better. Don't know what to say apart from that. Your arrow can go through the dragon occasionally. I'm in Emerald 1 and my split performances are a top 15% for all of my splits. Do you think I should play more? What's your forfeit percentage? If it's over 30%, it's fucking irrelevant. Because every time that you do anything slowly, you just forfeit. Alternatively, if your forfeit rate is low, play more. I don't forfeit, play more. You'll get to diamond. Good luck. I'm in diamond 2. Is it time to learn 0 now? Respect? Yes. Possibly. I would say yes. I would say that 0 is probably the best use of your time for practice-wise when you're in diamond 2 now. Yeah. I think that the fact that you've got to diamond 2 without learning 0 says all it fucking needs to about the people that are learning 0 in gold and in coal and etc, etc. Sorry. Double betting arrows can sometimes go through the dragon. I don't really know how best to prevent it. It's probably not a question that I should answer. I can forward it onto chat. Good luck. I'm sorry. I'm not sure about that one. Diamond is not that inflated. The fact that someone got to diamond without knowing 0 cycle, respectfully, is not that impressive. It's the norm. If you're in diamond, you're a good speed player that doesn't die that much. That's it. That's what you need to do to get to diamond. The fact that someone has got to diamond there without knowing 0 says what it needs to. And that's why I will always say there is no need to learn 0 cycles until you are in diamond. John A is the definition of that, I think. But John A can 0 occasionally. He doesn't know all the 0 setups. He knows a few. And that's the point, right? Like, I don't think it's worth you knowing, fucking back 1 in 8 in Call 2. Not a relevant use of your time. Because I think 80% of matches in Call don't make it to the end. So. What's the easiest way to get a faster PB? Okay, my recommendation for you is play 10,000 runs and you'll get a better PB. Hope that helps. That's the fastest way. Start now. Did he announce it? Someone said check Feinberg tweet. Did he announce the thing? He did. Cool. He announced it. Squad Showdown. New tournament coming soon. Next weekend, I think. March the 1st. So I think it's... Sorry, it's this Sunday. Tough. It is a 4v4. Ironically, it is kind of NA versus rest of the world, by the way. Fine, Infume, Dougal, Silver versus Hacks, Mungie, Rowell, and Beef Salad. It is a 4v4. However, you're allowed to give comms about the seed. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. Players can give info to their teammates during the seed. So whoever blinds first has to find the stronghold coordinates and then gives them over to their teammates. I think that this will be a very fun format for a little while. And then it'll likely get solved a little bit like ESI. However, ESI was very fun for the few seasons that it was around. So I'm really excited for it. Very hype, very hype, very hype. Yeah. Easiest way to get a faster PB is get better and do it more. Sorry. How do you deal with diagonal pyrite? Good question. There's a flow chart. Hold on. ESI is I Spy Invitational, which is a tournament from a few years ago where which was based on SRG, Scout and Route Glitchless, whereby every runner had 5 to 10 minutes to entirely look around the seed in creative mode, and then plan their route. So they'd be able to complete the seed as fast as possible. It was then a tournament based on that. There you go. Negative pyrite is very simple and eliminates all diagonals. You can forget normal pyrite. Ugh. Yeah. Hypothetically. If you want to learn that, you can. That's also a flowchart if you want to use that. That's how you deal with diagonal pyrite. Usually what I do is just fucking vibes and inshallah. I'm cold 3. I think my biggest bottleneck is mechanics. How do you recommend I practice them efficiently? I really liked what K4 did with Juicy, whereby he made Juicy play Vine Seed, which is a set seed. And I think that genuinely was actually very good movement practice. I think that I could recommend that if movement is specifically your mechanics bottleneck. If you're dying too much in Bastions, practice Bastions. Like, I think a lot of people use the word mechanics, and it's this overarching umbrella that doesn't really have a simple solution. And I would recommend just spamming out mechanical-based things. So just practice Bastions in all different ways and scenarios. Mini practice kit. Like, unfortunately, I think the best way to practice is mini practice kit and practice maps. It's just hard. It's hard to do. Have you considered coaching people? Good one. I assume you mean, like, chatters and not content creators. Like, doing, like, a career coaching thing. I have multiple times. I've never decided to pull the trigger and do it. And I don't think I will. Might do. Maybe if I move out and I need more money, then sure. Maybe. I don't know. Not soon. Not like super soon. How do I start speedrunning? Exclamation mark guide. Think. There you go. We need to add to that. Just put Parker. Not Parker. Carter's video for setting up Minecraft speedrunning is also pretty task. Molly, I saw your message in HBJ.
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
Can anyone think of a joke for 20 that doesn't involve that too shit I am too UNC to understand?
There's nothing. You're never too unk to understand too. Okay. Never too unk to understand too. Thank you, Law, for the resub. Never too old to understand too. Just saying. Just putting that out there, you know? Putting that out there. Yo, Hypersonic, thank you for the 3 months at tier 1. Appreciate you.
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
Lebang.
W.
Is Draconics like Grok, but in MCSR terms? Yeah. I would recommend, Molly, click more. That's how you drag. There you go. How do I start speedrunning? Exclamation mark guide, read the careerway guide, set up video by Carter Live. Good one. That's how you start. I started speedrunning by saying that I wanted to beat the game in 3 hours. Then I did. And then I wanted to beat the game in 1 hour. And then I did. And I wanted to beat the game in 40 minutes. And then I did. Then I wanted to beat the game in 30 minutes. And then I did. From then, I never stopped. There you go. What's the best way to improve decision-making and nether nav? Best way to improve decision-making. So, like, how do we cure cancer? Like, if anyone has the decision to the answer to how to improve decision-making, everyone's getting netherite tomorrow. Like, it's just like, I think the only way that you're going to improve your decision-making in nethernav is do it more. The way that you get better at the way you win more matches is by playing more matches, and the way you pass your exams is by doing more practice exams. So unfortunately, I think it is just put yourself in the situation more and more, and you will start to learn the correct decisions. You know what I mean? Like, if you show AI enough numbers, then they're going to start to recognize numbers. And if they show you enough nether terrain, then you'll understand which way to go eventually. As someone who doesn't have much experience playing on a keyboard and mouse, what should I practice first to maximize the benefit of fresh muscle memory? It depends on how good you want to get. If you want to get good, play ESDF. And I'm talking if you want to really, really get good, play ESDF. I don't think that there's much more apart from that. Get good binds. And don't start scrolling. That's a good one. That's it, really. Just don't use shift and control then. Like, if you want to play ESDF, don't use shift and control and use backslash and Windows key. Like, it's not that crazy. It's the same distance as A to shift and control as backslash and Windows key. ESDF means rather than using WASD, move your hand over one key and you play on ESDF instead. But yeah, that would be maximizing the benefit of fresh muscle memory is genuinely just don't scroll, get good keybinds. And I would recommend doing that when you start. So good luck. But yeah, practicing first, not really anything is relevant. I think it's just more the decisions you make about your keybinds that benefit the fresh muscle memory. In RSG, if you don't get a spike in pie chart for what? In RSG, if you don't get a spike in E-Ray for a Bastion from the portal, what's the best decision to take to find a Bastion? Go a direction. It will increase your render distance and try again. If you get to 32 and you don't have a spike, go a direction. Any direction will do. Or click the reset button. Yeah, that works. Maybe you play no reset, though, you know? Maybe they're playing no reset. You know what I mean? Maybe they're on an SMP. Sorry, I know it's not the best answer, but like, it is the correct answer. Classic 4 message, bro. Can you give me some tips about micro and crafting and sorting for Overworld, especially BT? I'm just about entering sub 3, but I want to make it sub 2. V-Stride? Followers count as stuck? Oh. Thank you. Anyone else want to help this one? Just know exactly what you're planning on crafting. Improve your portals. Really try and take notice about where ravines can be. Offhand sorting is good. Will you close questions at some point? Yeah, it's closed. Consistent hotbar always helps as well. I think that's all I can really say. Offhand sorting is a really good one from chat. Knowing what you need to craft while swimming back to the island is also very helpful. Like based on the number of iron, gold, diamonds you have. Having a consistent hotbar is always helpful. So, yeah. Sorry, I know it's not like a perfect answer, but it's quite difficult. Yeah, I hope that's okay. Sorry about that. I feel like I haven't really answered that one amazingly, but it was a bit of a difficult question. Is it more beneficial to learn speedrunning on ranked or RSG? I know ranked is filtered seeds, but are they different enough that learning one doesn't necessarily translate to the other? Nah, not at all. Ranked is different, but everything you learn in ranked is relevant for RSG, apart from metagaming, which is somewhat still relevant in RSG, because you also learn bad skills in RSG, like leaving on 5, playing for high rolls, that you shouldn't do in ranked. There is a Venn diagram of what is beneficial in learning in one and the other, and the Venn diagram is just heavily weighted on one side, and that one side is ranked because of the lack of downtime. You don't have to spend 15, 20 minutes to get to a new seed. Like, you will just click seed change and you will find a new good seed. That's it. You just get more practice. Yep, there you go. Do you know why when you search re in the crafting menu, it shows beds, even though white bed doesn't contain re? Yes. I'm going to be honest with you. I've fucking forgotten, though. That's really annoying. Oh, it's red bed and dye. Yes, of course. Yeah. It's because the bed overlaps, right? And it cycles through the possible dyes that you can have, and red bed exists. Yeah, that's the one. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah. Thanks, chat. You reminded me. I knew it. I just, for some reason, didn't remember it at that moment. And then as soon as someone said red bed, I went, oh, yeah, obviously. Because all of the bed colors show the same. Similarly to, like, you know, let's say you're crafting a boat or whatever. All the boat items are the same, I believe, as well. Like the different wood types, if I remember rightly. I think that's correct anyway. There you go. That's the answer. How do you use the C value to see air below you or any direction? I'm like using it wrong or something. C value is weird, but it's basically chunks that contain air in the direction that you're looking within your render distance. It's a lot more detailed than that, but I'm trying to like explain it for a layperson. And it can be anywhere on your screen. So using it when you're looking straight down gives you still a generally wide field of view. So it's not always useful. You have to scan for it quite a lot for it to work. And that's probably why it's like not working for you right now. It's not like the entity counter whereby the entities are usually in a thin chunk. Like air in caves are quite big and spread out. So by seeing a lot, like a higher C value, doesn't mean that you're specifically going towards a cave. It could be like under or above or below or side to side and stuff. So it's a bit more difficult and a bit more high level to use. How do I avoid travel deaths like purling onto walls and fall damage in lava? After every pearl, block clutch, loop your pearls more, and fall damage in lava is kind of RNG because as long as you, well, you know, basalt generation is really the reason that you'll die to fall damage in lava or like one deep lava. So just be wary of it, I guess, is literally like the one thing that I would say. But block clutching every time always helps. So try and get that. I think that's fair enough. Always block clutching is very important. Right, chat, I need to go pee. I'm not gonna lie to you. Peeing. Be right back. I'll be right back. Yo, peeing is done. I'm back. Sorry. Ugh. Hello. Hiya. Hey, Chad. Tough. All right. Is there a place where all these cool small community projects like search crafting website or zero cycle sheet are accumulated? Is this a fucking are we getting a am I getting a hashtag ad in my goddamn fucking redemptions? Is this a hashtag ad for fucking front cage or whatever the fuck it's called? Like surely like we got to be fucking trolling, no? Yeah. It's front cage. Front cage is a cool forum thing. Yeah. I believe it's run by Rox. Or at least Rox is a big contributor to it, so. Favorite most memorable RSG world record any category. 1436 and then 936 and probably 1456 in that order. 116 all of them RSG. Wasn't it 938? I don't think so. 936. Pebble GBT coming in with the fact check and it's wrong. Yeah, there you go, man. Yeah, just like a real AI chatbot. Thank you. What is a zero cycle, one cycle, and what's the difference? A zero cycle is when you go up in the end to meet the Ender Dragon in the sky and kill it before it perches. Fucking bollocks. Like this, right? That's a zero cycle. It's faster. It is quote unquote more risky, especially to newer runners, and requires occasionally more explosives. A one cycle is when you enter the end and wait for the dragon to perch, i.e. come down to the bedrock pillar in the middle. And one of the ways that you do this is just by waiting. This is a one cycle where you kill the dragon in, well, in one cycle. We then wait for a perch and it's slower. So even though it is faster than, for example, a two cycle where you would have to wait for two dragon perches, it is slower than a zero cycle where you have to wait for zero. I don't even know if it can perch on this map, by the way. So I assume it can, but yeah, this is what would be a one cycle, right? Like we would then wait, and then the dragon will eventually perch, and then everyone's okay. It can, but it's weird, I think. Awesome. Okay, well I'm not gonna wait. But yeah, one cycle is one where you wait on the ground, and a zero cycle is where you meet the dragon in the sky. That's the difference. How does hitboxes affect the chart? in different ways for different setups, but it will give you different numbers with hitboxes versus without. I don't really know how else to explain it apart from that, because personally I don't really know. I am not a numbers boy anymore. I'm a vibes boy, which is probably a bad thing. I might need to relearn my preemptive numbers. But yeah, hope that is good enough. It basically, it will change the numbers and it will change the values of your spikes if you have hitboxes on. I hardly ever have hitboxes on by the time I get to the stronghold though, so it isn't something that I know particularly. I apologize. How do you tell which way subtitles are coming from? I am always crazily digging around. There's a little arrow shows you where they're coming from usually. They're above or ahead of you, then they won't have an arrow. That's all I can recommend. Directional audio help? I mean, partially, but also, to be honest with you, the arrows on the subtitles can get you there pretty much insta, so. Yep, that's that. What to do if I'm stressing right when entering the end and losing 1 cycles then? Practice more. Shouldn't be stressing at a 1 cycle. If we're stressing at 1 cycles, we need to practice more 1 cycles. I apologize. That's the only thing we can do. Do more perch practice. Don't practice the timing of the beds. Practice a full end fight. Going from the platform to killing the dragon, and then do it again, and again, and again, and again, until it's second nature. I don't get nervous about 1 cycles. I still get nervous sometimes about 0 cycles, but the thing that I would do to stop that from happening is do it more. Unfortunately, that's the only way of doing it. Don't forget a bow and arrow in every end fight, basically. That can alleviate some stress because you have some sort of backup. Apart from that, just do it more. I apologize. It's not the best answer, but that's all I can really say. Never recommending a safety bed in ranked, really, apart from if you're in a tournament where you're brand new to Minecraft speedrunning. Safety bed is rarely helpful. But the real solution to having a safety bed isn't the safety bed. It's to not die. So God, I was going to make a horrible, like a terrible analogy. But yeah, practice more full perches, not just 1 cycles. Don't click the little 1 cycle button that's up here on the map. Don't click that. Practice your full perches. There's not even a perch practice map in the practice map, so download an old one and do it. Or download mini practice kit and do that. Safety bed is good if what? Pekka 2K, are we in 3-digit elo? Like, safety bed is never relevant, really. The only reason anyone has ever safety bedded that's relevant, or like, in a way that would be remotely meaningful, is if they die. And if you're dying in the end, you've done something wrong. I actually don't know, Matt. That's why I was saying I think it does, yes. You don't need a safety bed if you're not coming back. If I have 7 beds or more, I'm throwing down a safety bed just cause. Don't. Stop doing that. What you're doing is giving yourself a best worst case scenario, but you're not improving. The point is, you should be confident enough in your 1 cycles that you don't need to put a safety bed down. That's it. I'm in diamond, but low-key, if I have like 15 beds, I'm going to safety bed. How? How? I just don't get it. That's Contra, that's exactly the thing that I was about to say. The only reason that I've ever seen anyone at a reasonable elo set a safety bed, quote unquote, is because they've hunger reset and haven't picked up their bed and they've wanted to save the half a second it takes to mine that bed because they have 12. But no one is intentionally placing a safety bed for safety bed reasons when you get to that level. The point is, you need to be confident enough with your end fights that you don't need a safety bed. So I think safety betting is a bad recommendation because it instills bad habits. Because it's like, oh, I died, but at least I put my safety bed down. No, the problem is that you died. The solution is not putting a safety bed down. The solution is stopping dying. So don't die. Don't look at the Enderman. Don't, the solution is not like, safety betting is not a preventative measure. It is a safety thing, which isn't helpful when you get into close matches. Same reason I think throwing shears on Island is bad. That's fair. I get you, Contra, and I don't like playing to die. However, I've never used shears beyond the overworld. I understand that top players do. I'm just bad. That's why. So maybe I need to improve that, and I can hold my hands up and say the reason that I'm throwing my shears on the island is mostly because I will get no use of them in the run. However, I probably should, and top runners do. So I know that what I'm doing is wrong. Shears mostly for like breaking blocks, specifically in like stables when you're doing like triple to gap and you've built up to get to the chests. Breaking those blocks again, very helpful. Squads at MCSR are announced? No, they're not. That's not what Feinberg announced. They are 1v1s. They're still so... It is still solo speedrunning. Still solo speedrunning. This is just the fact that 4 of them are in call. That's it. They're not... It's not... We've not added 4-person ranked or anything. We've not added quad queuing. We're not queuing quads in Fortnite. It's just 4 of them are in call. That's it. There are no plans for 2v2s in MCSR. What keybinds do you recommend to make on top of base controls? I would recommend forwarding you to Altoid Academy. Going over to Just Altoid's channel on YouTube and watching that. Personally, you can also look at the best... you can look at the top runners and look at what they have as their keybinds. Personally, if you are brand new, changing to ESDF allows you to have extra hotkeys. But if you want to use WASD, top runners still do, so it's fine. I personally use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 RXCV as my main hotkeys. QEF as my drop inventory and offhand. Z and backslash as 2 of my different backslash is my macro and wide macro specifically. Shift control, and then I use not tilde, the top left one. The like the little weird dash thing. Like the coding dash. This one. Back tick. There you go. That one. That's my thin. God, I can't even remember. Like while I'm... No, it's not. What the fuck am I talking about? What do I use that for? I use it for something. I just can't remember what. That's tilde. I'm not talking about tilde. Back tick. Use the... Oh, okay, sorry. That's... Okay, fair enough. No, my F5's on my mouse, my F3's on my mouse. Interesting. That's fair. Tilde is next to enter for me. Basically, focus on all of that. Look through other people's keybinds, pick your favorites, and don't scroll. True, Fyro, true. How'd you keep your mental up after dropping 300 elo and being bad? You don't keep your mental up. You just do it tomorrow. you probably take a break after the first 150. Do you know what I mean? You probably take your break after the first 150 elo and go, you know what? Maybe today's not my day. Pats, bro, you got this. The elo system's great though, because if you start dropping elo, you play against worse players. So you should hopefully start winning. Can you explain God Sense and how it's different from just Boat Eye? Boat Eye requires a specific sensitivity to align yourself with pixels by getting in and out of a boat. God Sense has the decimal place of that specific sensitivity down to a much higher precision, henceforth allowing you, if you haven't got in a boat, to have up to 100 360s in the speedrun without misaligning your pixels. That means that GodSense effectively will be a perfect one-to-one thing because no one's ever doing 100 360s in a speedrun before throwing an eyeball. So, TLDR, it is different from Boat Eye because GodSense removes the need for a boat. There you go. Sorry, I explained that earlier, but that's why I gave it really quickly this time. Sorry, I've already explained that one. In ranked, when should you half bow? Like when you're in the M first, or at the same time, or later than the opponent? It's kind of contentious. I won't half bow if I'm behind. I would half bow if I'm ahead, or at the same time, basically. Hope that kind of explains. It does feel like a game theory thing. We can compare the graphs, right? But long story short, half bow on average saves like 7 seconds in ranked, or 10 seconds, or something along those lines. Versus the average. But the high roll chance for perch weight is just much higher than half bow. So I personally would never half bow if I'm later, but always half bow if I'm earlier. Yeah, what Fyro said. That's what I'm thinking anyway. I agree. Why are top MCSR players so mean to dumb people? Because we hate dumb people, bro. Us. We, as the MCSR top runners, we just don't like dumb people, bro. Me and the other top players, you know? We don't like the dumb people, bro. We, bro. Us. Us at the top of the game, you know? Us. We. On God. We at the top of the... No one fucking hates... No, like, okay. I don't know if you want a truthful answer. Top MCSR players, by that you mean streamers, are so mean to dumb people. Dumb people usually are asking a question that could be Googled or actively are being rude. And in which case, we are mean to save our ego. Hope that helps. There you go. Sorry. I know you should learn things when you want to, but at what elo do you think it becomes time optimal to spend time learning practicing zero instead of other things? Diamond. Diamond 1, in my opinion. If you get to Diamond 1, you can learn zero. That's my take on it anyway. You can reach Diamond without zero, and if you do, then you should start learning zero at Diamond. That's my rough, like, there's no hard and fast answer, but that's my rule of thumb. That's my rule of thumb. I've seen some 2+2s in gold, what, after 19 minutes? Like, congrats on them for saving 1 minute on the end fight. They lost 5 minutes in the Bastion. Like, you know what I mean? That's the thing. Why are you learning something that's at most going to save you 1 minute, 30 seconds? Or, you know, maybe 2 minutes at optimum. Then, rather than saving 2 minutes in the rest of your run. Like, and I think that, in my opinion, the time that you start losing to zero cycles or not hitting zero cycles is Diamond. Not before. Nah, but getting your first zero cycle off has to be better than sex. We might have to pin that one. That can't be a real sentence. Average Minecraft speedrunner's thought. Bro. Do you disagree? Personally, yes. I disagree. I quite like sex. It's quite good. Here, the zero cycle is a nothing burger, bro. You're playing Minecraft, like, my fault. Like, what do you want me to say? What the fuck do you want me to say? We wouldn't know. Oh, true. True. No, true. I realized that every single viewer in my chat would not know. W Pebble Pin. That's his third mod action ever. Nah, actually good one. Actually good one. Bro just called sex quite goated. Am I wrong? My fault. My fault, man. Like, it's true. Okay, answer to your question, usually around Diamond 1, in my opinion. How does the seed finding algorithm work for ranked and in general? Like, in general, how does the algorithm work for... Bro, you just said the same question twice. Legit just said the same question twice. How does the seed finding algorithm work for ranked and in general? Like, in general, how does the algorithm work for seed generation? And how can you analyze that? Far beyond my pay grade. To be honest with you. We have seed finders. It's a program. They run a program for a while. They found valid seeds within a data set and then returned them to ranked, and now we randomize them and put them within the pool. Oliver's a demon. Yeah, I'll just let Oliver. Oliver just knows all of the numbers of every seed. So it's actually every time you queue into a run, Oliver actually is in the back. He's in Red Lime's basement, typing in the numbers for the seed that you're about to generate. How important is half bowing versus not bowing at all? 7 to 10 seconds in ranked. I believe. There you go. That's it. That's it, I think. I think it was 7 seconds last time someone analyzed it. In ranked, yes, because of the 3-minute auto perch. Not actually that beneficial, but on average, it's better, though. Do you know what I mean? If you could save 7 to 10 seconds in every single run, would you do it? Like, yeah, you should. No, NB Andy. No, that's the entirety of the end fight takes 7 to 10 seconds more. Like, the time it's spent half-bowing is included in the consideration. So, if the end fight takes 153 seconds, it, like, you know, on average, half-bowing probably takes 102 seconds, and then not half-bowing takes 109 from spawn to finish, you know? All good. How to lower and increase the render distance fast with a hotkey. F3 and F increases, Shift to F3 and F decreases. If you want to do it faster, you have to go to your regex and change the number of times you can click a button a second, I think. Linux has it basically on average, like, Linux has it default, and I think you can change it in some Windows settings somewhere. Search filter keys in Java code, it's somewhere there. Yeah, sure. It's in tool screen now? No, it's not. Really? Shit, I didn't know it was in tool screen. That's actually fucking cool. Reg edit, that's the one. How can I speed up overworlds? Brackets, start of games. Oh, wait. Thank you for the bracket. I didn't actually know. That was... Now I get it. Now I get it. Yeah. No, that makes sense now. I didn't get it before. Like, not blinds? Okay. No, okay. You know what? You've come in with a good chat message, and fair enough. It's not blinds, it's Overworld 1. Sure. Fine. Yeah. I think I would have guessed that anyway, but, you know, hey, worth clarifying, I guess. Fucking stupid. I did explain this earlier as well. Planning paths of what you're going to do, having a consistent hotbar, offhand sorting, especially for ocean seeds, and practice. But I think, like, planning a path is really helpful for, like, Village Desert Temple, where it's like you spawn in, you're running to your blacksmith, you can already think, okay, there's my golem, that's the blaze bed I'm going to grab, that's the wood I'll get. If I can make shears, I see trees. If I don't have shears, I see the lava pool, I see the flint, like, you know what I mean? Like, that's the plan. I don't want to be mean, but your PFP looks like Feinberg IRL. What? What even is my fucking profile picture? Is this one? How does this remotely look like Feinberg? How does... What? Bro, Feinberg has a 4 all over. It does. Nah. Donnie, you're the only person that's ever thought this. How does anyone think that Feinberg has wavy hair? Okay, now people are just rage baiting. Good stuff, Jivik. Wait, I kind of see it when I close my eyes. Wait. I kind of see it. I kind of see it when I take off my glasses. Wait. Like, we can't be serious. Where's the... Where is the similarity? I don't, like... We both have glasses? Oh, wait, true. Wait, what about this image? Where he's straight on. He's straight on in this image. What about this one, guys? You guys see it or no? You guys see it? Curl in hair! Curl in hair! Oh! Wait, he has massive curls, to be fair. He's got big curls. Wait, son. We might be related. Yo, I see it. Son, I'm crying, Berg. I think we look the same. No, I think this... Yeah, no, I get it. I get it now. Sorry, thank you. Are Bastion and Fortress 50-50 to spawn? In random seeds, yes. In 1.16. Technically, no. Because if a Bastion tries to spawn in a Basalt, then it will not be overwritten. Sorry, it will be overwritten. So it's something along the lines of 50-40-10. Where it's 50% of quadrants have a Fortress, 40% have a Bastion, and 10% have nothing. In 1.16, specifically. Yep, there you go. That's the answer to that question. Beep, 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 beep. Do you think forcing harder strats like harder Bastion routes and zeros, etc., is better for improvement despite the higher chance of failure? Or is it better to just practice them not in a run ranked game and only implement when consistent? Only relevant to implement something when you know how to do it properly and without dying. If you don't, there's no reason to do it. Unless you're forced to, for some reason. I.e., maybe you are bad at buried treasure, but you get a buried treasure seed in a tournament, and then you have to play it. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's so niche. But basically, I think, no, it's better to practice it first. Can't wait to be 100% consistent, or else you'll never get there. No, but I'm not saying 100% consistent, but consistency is a spectrum. So, if you're dying every other run, don't do it. If you're dying 1 in every 10 runs, well, yeah, sure, probably. That's fine then. Like, it's not ideal, but, you know. Yeah, there you go. How do you boat clutch consistently without drag clicking? Click fast. I don't. Hope this helps. You're asking me a question that I would also love to know the answer to. I don't consistently, so. Why dragon perches diagonally for 1 cycle? There is not a single explanation on YouTube or anywhere. I searched up the words diagonal perch, and there's a video from Andronicus 2 years ago.
Perch using the strategy known as half bow. Upon entering the end, use a bow to shoot down 9 of the 10 crystals. This will result in the dragon having less potential paths to go down, therefore increasing the chance of it going down each of its remaining paths, one of which is perching. Minecraft speedruns.
Wait, what the fuck? That has nothing to do with diagonal perches. Fair enough. I searched up the word diagonal perch, and I thought this was going to explain about diagonal perches with SSG. It doesn't. My fault. You are completely correct. Why the fuck is there no videos on it? The entirety of set seed runs for like 3 years were entirely based on diagonal perches. Tough. The dragon perches diagonally if you're standing diagonally from the fountain. That's it. That's it. That's the entire explanation. If this is the end fountain, and I'm standing here, the dragon will perch from this direction. What's my clicks per second, by the way? 10? 11? I don't know, I'm kind of guessing. I actually don't know. Jitter. I don't butterfly. $10. I could probably push 11 if I practiced, but yeah, that's just jitter. My fault. It's not great. I'm sure if I knew how to drag, I could get more, but I don't know. I don't know about dragging because I can't really drag. I don't have tape. So I'm like hard stuck 6-7. Yeah, bro, GG. Guys, look at my drags. Drags no tape. Tas. Tas. What do you think about drags, bro? W drags. W drags. No tape. No tape drags. What do we think? Off. Yeah, I'm definitely clicking more than that. It's really interesting. If you listen to the mice, you can hear the clicks even though I don't have tape. Wait, that's actually me just clicking off the thing. Really difficult for me to do drags without tape. I'm like trying to do it without tape. It's really hard. Oh, whoops. I started wrong. Maybe I should have tape. Maybe I should get tape and try it. Oh, it's not possible on a G502? Oh, well, then who gaffed then? I wonder if I've never like butterflied before. Oh, butterflying's easy. Lol. I didn't realize that I'd get 10, like 2 CPS more by butterflying. That's actually crazy. Shit, that's actually really easy. Yeah, like I like jittering more though. Can't do it with index and middle. Then you can't aim. Butterflies with middle and ring. Are you trolling? What do you mean you can't aim with using middle and... Hello? I can definitely aim like this. I can definitely aim like that. Yeah, I palm grip when I butterfly click. I feel like that makes sense because I'm putting my fingers at the very top of the button. So, anyway, I don't know why I got asked that. That was just Finbar making a 6-7 joke. Sorry. Yeah, the reason is because you're standing diagonally from the dragon's node. That's it. It will pick a node to target that is directly opposite you, basically. So, there you go. That's that. How do you deal with really bad strongholds without a spike? Cry. A mixture of every law of strongholds, right? Don't go too deep. Rescan later if you can. Struggle through it. Like it's hard. It wasn't a 6-7 joke. I'm just bad at boat clutching and I wondered if that was why. I'm awful at boat clutching. Yeah, something culled behind walls and culled chunks, chunk borders, stuff like that. Me, probably. I'd assume. Surely just get a better mouse. Oh. Oh. I get it now. Why are top runners mean to stupid people? Wait, truth nuke. He does have that one world record with spam clicking in some Mario game. True. But it's not a mouse, is it? It was a controller. And that's because he does the rocking technique. And, like, I swear that some people do, like, the tapping thing where they tap the back of the controller and it gets clicks because you're, like, bumping it into your thumb that's, like, solid, you know? How to cooldown skip on a 2x1 portal. I don't know, break more.
It's a bit of a sticky one still.
Like, hold down left click, bro. That's low-key it. Am I crazy? It's kind of true, bro. It's kind of true. I think it's true. I think it's true. Yeah. I don't understand the core idea of cooldown skipping. Oh, that's really easy to explain. CD is cooldown skip. Well, CD is cooldown. CD means cooldown. When I break a block, there is like 0.1 of a second where there is no breaking animation. The easiest way to see this is on a actually a grass block's fine actually. There'll be 0.1 of a second where there's no breaking animation. Did you notice that? There was no breaking animation for a bit there. Let me show you again. Let me show you again. Did you see that there was a second while I was mining? Well, a 0.1 of a second where I was mining, where there was no breaking no breaking animation on the block. You won't see it now until I break a block and use a different block. So there will be a second where there's no breaking animation. 0.25 seconds. Sorry, I got the number wrong. So there's a quarter of a second where there is no animation. However, cooldown skip means that all I have to do is, if I use up that block breaking cooldown, then the next time I go to break a block, there won't be that cooldown now. There will not be 0.25 seconds where it's not showing any breaking. So, if I now click, it will be instant. 3, 2, 1, click. And it goes straight into the breaking. However, if I use a different tool and I'm here, there will now be a quarter of a second before the breaking animation begins. See that? However, as soon as you use up that breaking animation delay, then it skips it on the next block that you mine. I can do the same block. Just to show an example. There is now going to be no delay. Bang. Goes straight in. But now I do it, there'll be a delay. Hopefully you saw that. So what a lot of top runners do will, as they're running to their nether portal, they'll be doing something like this, and it removes their cooldown skip. Because they've just done the 0.25 seconds of breaking a different block. And because of that, now the next block that I break is going to go insta. You understand? So a lot of runners, especially during, like, in nether terrain and things like that, they've got their pickaxe out. They're like, yeah, here's my netherrack. I just break that there. Like, they're not even breaking the whole block. They just use up the cooldown skip, and it will save them a quarter of a second on their next mine. When does the cooldown skip wear off? When you break a block. Or I believe switch tools. Yeah, I think switch tools also does it. How heavily do you value memorization when it comes to starting out? In the sense, where should I build habits by playing ranked, or should I force habits by going giga hard into memorizing the meta? That's a really good question. Memorization is very important, especially at the very start, because it's going to be simple things like memorizing which blocks to place in the bastion and memorizing what to do at this exact point and that sort of stuff. You can skip some of that by watching a lot of speedruns. Like if you know, oh, okay, I've done the bastion, now I have to pie chart. Then you have to remember how to pie chart. But the more and more you do remember, the more and more of it becomes muscle memory. So I would recommend, I would say that memorization is very, very important at the very start, but you can save some of it by engrossing yourself within the scene of Minecraft speedrunning, and I think it does wonders, basically. And I think that, in reality, private rooms are great to learn if you're nervous to queue, because it would, allows you completions, right? When you're at low elo, the majority of runs do not get completed. So, that means that you do not get the full practice of the full run. So, the best thing you could do is play practice rooms to practice completions. And I would say that is a good thing to do. I don't know, Tanny. Or Cav. K4 is probably correct. Hold break. I don't think there's a... I don't... Yes, I think that is right. Gathered for the beast. Any advice on getting used to new hotkeys? I usually change my hotkeys one at a time when I'm getting used to new hotkeys. So recently, somewhat recently, I changed my 6 to R. Or at least in batches. I changed my 7, 8, 9 to XCV together, but I've just changed my 6 to R recently, and that is, that took a little while for me to, like, get used to. And I think that, doing it sequentially, without going all in on changing a bunch of hotkeys all at once, blah, 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 is helpful. I get that, Waffler. You can go cold turkey, but it's difficult, basically.
It's a bit of a sticky one.
Thank you, Lange, for the tier 1. Appreciate that, dude. Wait, did I say thank you to Catgirl Sillin for the tier 1? Thank you. Was I peeing when that happened, or did I just ignore it? Am I just an asshole? Sillin, okay. Okay. In my mind, your name is Dylan with a C. Is it Cyan? Is it like Cyan with an L? Like, my fault. It's, okay, alright. It's Cyan with an L. No, it's... You can understand the brain logic there, right? It's like, Bo and How, or something like that. It's like... Do you know what I mean? You relate it to something, and then you change a letter, and it changes the entire, sounding of the word. I apologize. How you feel about more people getting into MCSR? Are you scared of, like, so many better players playing now? So, like, it's a threat to the OG players. Bro, I've been washed for years. I've been washed for years, bro. Nah. I'm never scared that more people are getting in. I'm hyped. I'm hyped. Bro, this is the best. This is the renaissance of MCSR. This is the peak. This is the best that we've ever done in Minecraft speedrunning. And I'm so excited for more good players to be popping up in a year's time because they started watching Ludwig like in 2025. Do you know what I mean? They were watching Ludwig, they decided to start, and a year later, they're the new EDCR. You know what I mean? It's fucking awesome. If you know how to search craft with English, you can learn a new search crafting language. If you are going straight into search crafting with a brand new language, might be a bit difficult. Maybe learn English first. What do you do on a desert village seas where the trees are far away? Don't get wood. Low key, it's kind of tass. Figured this out recently with HBG and call, that just not getting wood is the right play. I have God sense. I don't need a boat. Like, I think that it is genuinely, genuinely, you just don't get wood. I see like that where there was no crafting table house. Okay, then you have no choice. No tools? No, you just punch dead bushes and use crafting table in the house. So you can make full tools, you just don't make boat or blocks. Is Godsense annoying for general Windows use in other games? No, not at all. I didn't change my DPI. I changed my sense from 0.07 down to 0.04. So it was like, oh, okay, well, I changed my sense by like 1 inch per, or like 1 centimeter per 360. It's like, okay, fine. And you can either get wood in nether or on blind. How to chunk count? So you start at 1, and you go to 2, 3, 4, 5, then 6, 6, 7. Yeah, I don't fucking know. Put your chunk borders on and count. Like, I don't know what you want me to do. New York. I don't really know what you mean by this. Chunk counting for spawner? Like, it is literally just read the chunk that you're in on your F3 screen. Here, chunk. I am in 8.4.11. And if I know that I'm traveling... Oh, okay, it's... Oh, whoops. I'm in 8.4.11 and I travel this way. Oh, I'm now in 8.4.12. I know it's 12 chunks that way, so I need to go to 8.4.24. Or 23. Bang. And now I'm at 23, and now it's going to be my left or right. Like, that's it, I think. I wouldn't even say it's about ranks and average time for intermediate and advanced Bastion routes. I would say it is entirely based on your consistency of current Bastion routes. If you don't die on Bastion routes at the moment, you can upgrade them. If you're struggling with basic crack smoker, don't try Soog. You know what I mean? Is that clear enough? Like, how to find lava pool consistency. Use eyeball. Both of them, ideally. Yeah, it's not always easy. F5 as much as you can. And, like, Poundy goes to hard mode all the time to find the lava pool, so maybe that's good. Yeah, height and F5 mode, like, as much as you can. That's all I can really say. I struggle to find lava pool sometimes, so. How do I identify weaknesses? Improve at macro gameplay. Compare yourself to other runners. Record your gameplay. Check replays. Notice where you're losing time. And use the Discord bot. That's what I would recommend. Do. How do I identify weaknesses, improve at macro gameplay? Okay, I just said that one, yeah. What Discord bot? MCSR ranked Discord, go to the bot channel and just copy what everyone else is doing. /analysis. Where can I see my MCSR rank stats? There. I want to know what I need to improve. I remember you looked at Super TF stats before the Ludwig match to see what to ban. I looked at Ludwig stats to see what to ban, but I also think I looked at Billzo stats to look at what to ban. You just go to mcsrrank.com/stats and then put in your username. Go here and put in your username. And then you can see your recent times and, you know, things like that. Splits, etc., etc. Or use Oshbot, which is a bot that Oshk made that tells you all the stuff in the Twitch chat. Very good. That's that, I think. Is swapping to hard a must in a Bastion? Big problem for me while learning routes. Is it needed or can it be skipped or unneeded for some routes? Swapping to hard means that piglins are happy to fall more blocks. That is the only reason that swapping to hard is relevant. So if you're using a route where piglins need to take a substantial amount of fall damage to get to your hole, yes, switching to hard is very important. If it is not, then switching to hard is irrelevant. I.e., in housing, a lot of the time, you don't need to switch to hard. Unless you have some stray piglins above and you didn't do top down. Maybe, then it might be relevant. However, in bridge, a lot of the time, there's kind of like 3 or 4 layers to bridge. And sometimes you need to drop them from the top layer down, which will require them to drop more than 4 blocks. So, why sometimes switch to normal? Because hard means that it's just about the number of blocks that they can drop. If there's no need to switch to hard, because I think maybe hard drops 12 blocks and normal drops 10 blocks, I want to say. And if you know that they're going to drop only 10 blocks in this Bastion route, then you could switch to normal. Slightly less punishing if you get hit, but the majority of the time you switch to hard when you can't get hit anyway. 13, sorry, I forgot the number. It's just a balancing thing, but also it's about knowledge. So if you know that the most likely spot for them to drop is from here to here and it's only 8 blocks, then you could switch to normal. Like in housing, a lot of the people switch to normal rather than hard because the highest drop that you can ever have in housing is like 8 blocks or something. That should hopefully explain it. What's the most underrated thing to improve on that often goes unnoticed? Stronghold split, usually, is what I would say here. Preemptive is very important and is definitely overlooked by players in my elo range, me specifically as well. No problem, Kruk. Hopefully I gave a decent enough answer there. What do you think relates more? Transferring skill from RSG to ranked or ranked to RSG? I think transferring ranked to RSG is fine. When you're in the seeds, it doesn't help you with reset efficiency. RSG to ranked is helpful for your top speed, but less so with your consistency. There you go. When towering, is it only important to time your jumps and not your clicks? Could you also hold your click and time jumps? No, you need to time both. Example. Holding spacebar. Tapping click every time. This is me holding click and tapping spacebar every time. And this is me doing both. You probably won't notice a difference visually, but this one was faster. This is the one that you do. You'll notice because there's no sound. You'll hear like a slight delay every other jump. See how that goes? Bum, 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 bum. That's me holding space and clicking. This is me holding click and spacing. Seems like if you're holding space and clicking, it only bugs you out every 4. But the more important thing is if you do both, then there's none of that. So here you go. There you go. What tools are needed for speedrunning? Usually an axe, a pickaxe, and a shovel. And a flint and steel. Usually is what I would recommend, personally. Hope that sums it up. I thought they meant external tools. I think they mean mods and plugins. I think they mean outside the game. Do they? Oh, I didn't realize. Oh, now I get it. Oh, thank you, chat. Thank you for explaining. Thank you for mansplaining what the question was. Silly me. Oh, I get it now. Basically just tool screen and Ninja Brain bot now, I think. That's it, really. I think that's pretty much it, isn't it? It's basically just tool screen and Ninja Brain bot, which is pretty cool. Jingle has Paceman, but that's it. So, yeah. Tool screen will be part of Jingle later. What? What do you mean by that? A monitor helps? Oh, gaming chair. True. What's an ideal rebind key to reset worlds for RSG? I have it on... What do I have it on? I think I have it on T. And then to reset the world that I'm in is K, because I like it to be far away from any other keybind that I have, so I can't mistakenly click it. Can you explain bow eye? Oh, I've explained this so much, I don't want to again. Do I have to? Said no stupid questions. Yeah, but I didn't say I also fuck with repeated questions. I've already answered it this stream, so I'm gonna ignore it. I'm gonna ignore it. Is there a difference between doing top and bottom TNT in Temple? As in, are there any situations where one would be better to do than the other? Bottom TNT has a small chance to not blow up one of the 4 chests, but it's faster. And top TNT is slower, but has a chance will blow up every chest. That is your trade-off. You save a couple of seconds. There is a small chance, like percentage, like single digit percentage, that it will not blow up a chest. That's it, basically. That's that, I think. I think that's all I can really say. What should I work on if I want to sub 10, sub 9, sub X times? As a mechanically good player, son, what's the things I should practice and learn? Emerald 1, mechanically good player. GG, bro. GG. You got the whole crowd laughing, bro. You got the whole crowd laughing. Sorry. Go check your stats. Like, go check your stats against other players or against players that consistently sub 10. And then you need your average. Your times need to be. Your peak needs to be their average. You know what I mean? Compare yourself to like Loki or something. I hope that kind of makes sense. Like split comparison to players that normally get sub 10s. Not that like to a sub 10 run. I'm saying compare your splits to Vstrid's average or to Feinberg's average or whatever, you know? That's a good one, actually. Thanks. Wow. You're welcome. Diamond 1. Millions. Search crafting isn't that hard. I don't know it. I want to. I think that search crafting English is worth it rather than just regular book now. Probably if you're thinking about, you know, if you're already like a good level runner. Learning a new language is probably going to be very difficult just for search crafting if you've never done search crafting before. That's what I'm thinking. Hope that makes sense. What pigs does Sug get that normal CS doesn't get? Where do the extra pigs come from? Is there not like a glowing setting? Why did I feel like there was a glowing setting? I haven't done Sug in ages, so if I get this badly wrong, don't kill me. Shit. Oh, my mouse is wired. These guys. These guys come here and then pathfind their way around to here, and then when you break this block, they come in, or they come over the top. Basically, it gets these two who start from up, like here. Starting pieces entrance. Starting pieces entrance and starting pieces entrance. There you go. Those are the 3 pigs. There you go. Hopefully that explains it. It's basically they spawn near to the lodestone, roughly. Hopefully that explains it. What do you think is the most important things beginners should learn and usually don't? Bastions. No, not dying, bro. Beginners die a lot. And if we don't die, we win more matches. That's like it's a hard lesson, but one that's really important, specifically mostly for beginners. Which means throw more food, throw more gold, eat more food. Lots of runners eat badly and think that they're better than they are, and therefore run on low health. See Ludwig versus Juicy. Seem to frequently misjudge the dragon height and when to right-click the first bed during one cycle. Any tips? Oh god, this is really difficult. It's a really difficult question to answer. You just have to do it more, man. Very difficult, but I know what you mean. So I know now this is the last one I could place a bed. Because if I let it come down one more, it's already broken the bed. Right? It's just an experience thing, unfortunately. Like, I know I would be anchoring now and other anchoring now, but I know that I can't place a bed. Like, my bed's dead. It is just an experience-based thing, unfortunately. Sounding so far away. I would just say the only thing you can really do is practice more. I apologize. But yeah, that's really the tech that I would have to say. Sorry. But yeah, betting earlier is better than betting too late. So also use anchors. Preset your anchors. They can't break. They can't break anchors. So anchors are very helpful if you preset them. That is way better of an advice than betting early. The anchor first and pre-place your anchors. Green boat versus blue boat on Ninja Brain. That's not a question. It's just blue boat means it's waiting for your input. Green boat means it's received your input. That's it. So green boat, if you put the setting on, means that you start the run with a green boat, i.e., you're on God's sense, and you believe that you will be on a green boat by the time you check. Blue boat verifies. I am unsure what, like, I have not got in a boat yet, and I need to get into a boat to align my crosshair. When I get in the boat, I need to F3C. From that point, I am in a green boat. Green boat is only for God's sense, effectively. Why does my boat I pretty often randomly miss with 100% certainty on the first eye? So, if I'm drawing a very, very specific line, if I'm drawing a very specific line, and it has to be a very, very straight line, very, very accurately, if I make a little bump like that, right? If I make a little bump like that, well, technically it wouldn't even be a bump like that, right? But if I was to angle it ever so slightly wrong, even if it was just ever so slightly, by the end it will be very, very different. Therefore, because I'm throwing one eye along a line and hoping to find where it intersects with a bunch of different points that are 16 blocks apart like this in a grid, if I'm finding one here, and then if I'm 1 small degree wrong, then it could be intersecting down here. It will be thousands of blocks wrong. You've thrown one eye. If you've done something wrong, then it will give you 100% certainty on something that is incorrect very frequently. Well, I mean, yeah, your standard deviation is also wrong, but that doesn't matter. You are doing something wrong with your measurement. That's it. That's if you're getting 100% frequently and it is incorrect frequently, you are doing something wrong. You are moving, or you are mismeasuring, or you are not correcting, or you have a setting wrong. Something is wrong if you are getting 100% frequently without without you're getting 100% consistently and it's wrong. Can you roughly go over what I should have on my hotbar? This is rage bait, right? This is rage bait, right? This is PPBB rage bait, right? Is this PPBB rage bait? Here's my presentation on inventory management and hotbars. I'm not going to give it again. I've given it 3 times this last week already. I didn't know this spreadsheet existed. What spreadsheet? I've given this presentation 3 times this week about inventory management and hotbars and what optimal hotbars are. Like, sorry if it's not rage bait, but this is not going to be something that I'm going to repeat. You can go watch the presentation if you want. I'm sorry I don't tune into every single one of your streams. You're the problem. So, yeah, you should. Sorry. %, attendance is mandatory. True. Yeah, you know, I should tune in to all of his streams. See? You're correct now. How does the Bastion routing work? Like, why do you have to do a Bastion route? I mean, you can do it without it, but why does it result in a faster time if you do a route? And how the fuck does one even discover the optimal route? A Bastion route requires you to trade with... a Bastion requires you to leave with the intention of having your pearls afterwards. Right? Before we used Bastions, we used to trade with stray piglins in red forest biomes. They occasionally used to drop pearls. Sometimes it allowed us to have a faster time. However, we realized that by gathering all of the pigs in one place and throwing all of the gold, we will mostly, very, very frequently, get all of the trades that we need. How does one discover the optimal route? With lots and lots of practice and lots of iterations and lots of people trying to find it. That's it. Hope that's chill. Hope that's a fair explanation. I play with a trackpad. How much will it hold me back? A lot. Don't stop playing with a trackpad now. Get a mouse. Minus $3 plus 100 enjoyment. Flexi B. Oh. Wait, so because one person is a good trackpad player, we should all play trackpad. Oh. Oh. Wait, because Big Monkey plays with 30 FPS and got top 20, we should all destroy our computers and play on our laptops. Oh. Like, using one counterexample to the fact that it will be easier to not play with a trackpad is very rage bait from chat. So. Get a mouse. You can do it. You X-ray by mistake, like boat crawling, is the more automatically invalid for speedrun.com? Yeah, probably. I mean, it was invalid for Feinberg that one time. Fulham got 1909 on a laptop. Why shouldn't I do it? Well, because I got 1909 on a laptop with a mouse and a keyboard. Daydream believer. Homecoming queen. Do you think it's feasible at all to go an entire ranked season without no deaths? So I assume you mean with no deaths, given playing above a certain skill level and sample size. Let's say Emerald Plus with 300 games. Or do you think that deaths are just an inevitability that come with the game? Yep, I think that would not be feasible. Across 300 games, basically everyone is going to die at some point, assuming you're trying to be competitive. So, yes. If you're above a certain skill level, then deaths will be in every single player's gameplay. Reducing them is what we're trying to optimize. What should my splits be in low emerald diamond? Low emerald to diamond? What? Low emerald to diamond is just emerald. Like the whole of emerald. What do you mean? I don't get what you mean. Low emerald / diamond would still mean you're in low emerald. You should be aiming for like a sub 13 average to get into diamond. A sub 11 average can probably get you netherite at the very end of a season. Your split should be based on that. If you're in low emerald, you can work that out. And you can go to the ranked bot in the bot channel on the ranked Discord and compare yourself to emerald. Basically all of the 5 major splits, like sub 3 minutes, probably. You could change one thing about MCSR / ranked, what would you change? Conceptual question, way too dank. I would change my elo to be the highest. How to do 1 in 8-0? It seems actually impossible. Tutorial, bro. Like, go read the careerway guides. Learn how to speed bridge. And don't do that. Really. But getting to the setup isn't hard if you can speed bridge. Like, that's it. It's all you have to do. Like, you pearl up here. And you speed bridge up to the coordinates. Like, that's... I think I did that wrong. I think I'm 1 block off here. Like, I think I'm 1 block too close to the tower. Yeah, I am. Oopsie. But yeah, like, all it is pearl decently well. And then speed bridge out. That's it. That's all you have to do. And unfortunately, I can't fix you not being able to hit 1 in 8 zeros. I assume you can't get to the setup. And if you can't get to the setup, that is something you have to work on. That's it. To be fair, you didn't hit it either in 3, so it's not an easy thing to do. Like, what? Is this a... I feel like I'm getting trolled because I was reading chat while trying to do a 0. Actually getting rage baited. Ow. Ow. What the fuck? It's so fucking annoying. Why did I take fire tick damage? Also, you are comparing to a guy who has not played ranked in 2 weeks because of Midoffs, but yes, I guess I didn't hit it in 3. You didn't hit it. I hit it first time when I did it earlier. Like, I don't know why I'm getting rage baited. I'm actually getting rage baited by, like, chatters. It's very PMO. The 1-0 cycle I explained what a 0 cycle was earlier was a 1 in 8. Fuck. I'm reading chat and I fucking built at the wrong height. Fab pearl. Bollocks. Oh, tough. That was cool. I love when my arrow goes nowhere. Tough 8 bed. You can't get a fucking 0 like this. Doesn't exist apart from on the map, I think. Nice. Cold. Nice double bed. Cold double bed. There we go. Happy. 3 in a row. Ah, bollocks. Ah, I missed it. Pats. Can I get a pats? What's so special about tool screen? What makes it better over Ninbot? Ninja Brain Bot is a yeah, I just misplaced a block. Ninja Brain Bot is a completely separate application. Ninja Brain Bot is a calculator. Tool screen is something that allows you to resize your window. Tool screen is better than Jingle because it adds extra functionality that other operating systems would allow you to do. And Windows doesn't by default. Hopefully that explains it. Tool screen doesn't replace Ninja Brain Bot. Tool screen replaces Jingle. Banger. Oh my gosh. I can't believe I got rage baited by fucking like 3 chatters for saying that I can't hit a 1 in 8, by the way. I actually can't believe that I got rage baited. Actually, horror. Horror for me to even do that. That is disgusting. Actually, 3 guide. How do you instantly adjust angle by a lot in Ninja Brain Bot without spamming the +1 or -1 buttons? I don't know. Is there a button? If there's not, just measure better. Like, have you seen other people doing this? Does that exist? It's like, maybe, yeah, maybe you can hold it down with regex. Like, I don't know. What is triple to gap? For now, I've been pretending that I know. It's Bastion route in stables, where you go from a triple to a gap. A triple looks like this. It is a rampart with a triple chest, i.e. 1 chest and a double chest, meaning that 1, 2, 3 chests. Triple chest. The triple chest also has 4 gold. The route requires you to do something along the lines of this, whereby you will get your you will get your gold blocks. Don't know why I have 16, because I was practicing bridge. And then you take these pigs from the triple down here to what is known as the gap, which is either good gap or bad gap. A gap being where the gold spawns in the bastion. I.e. down here, this is a gap. So I've taken the pigs from the triple chest at the top of the bastion, down to the gap, this location at the bottom of the bastion. That's the concept of triple to gap. Okay, is that chill? The reason, as you can see, there is a bunch of different piglins in here, and ramparts 3 means that this piglin came all the way from the triple at the very top of the bastion, followed me down, came all the way down here, and came to this piglin hole. Allows you to get more pigs, meaning that the route is faster. There you go. Hopefully that explained it, Rainbow. Best tip for navigation. That's where I'm wasting a lot of time. From the blind to the stronghold find. Thank you. Genuinely, blind to stronghold is the exact same every time. It's very repeatable. And it is all based on your pearling and your knowledge of how far pearls go. And I would just recommend focusing on Ninja Brainbot, showing how far it is, lining yourself up with the angle when you go back through the portal so you know exactly which direction you're going. Try and find optimal pearls. Terrain, just try and find things that go low. Lava pearling, maybe some practice of that if you want. Pre-craft your gold pickaxes, things like that. Sorry if that wasn't perfect. Why do people usually craft golden helmet instead of boots? When the piglins do their trades. When the piglins be out here doing their trades and shit. They can give us iron boots. These iron boots will have soul speed. Equally, when we look in chests, we can also find we can find gold boots with soul speed. This is helpful because soul speed makes you go faster. Go faster is good in speedrun because go fast is good. There you go. What is God sense? I've answered that 4 times. Do you think we will ever figure out a way to deal with culling in strongholds for preemptive? Yeah, probably. We're getting better at it now. I think preemptive is almost solved. I'm excited to see when it is solved. How to know when to full bow, half bow, or overall how many crystals to shoot? Shoot 8 every time that you're ahead. Don't bow when you're behind. Never full bow. Unless you don't have the explosives to kill the dragon. Full bowing makes the dragon perch slower. So don't full bow. Initially. Like, it makes the dragon perch ever so slightly differently. And can make it fireball you more. Yay! Okay, you have like time to add like 5 more questions and then I'm done. So go crazy. Oh, we're trolling! I already explained this earlier. Sorry, you're gonna have to go back in the VOD and watch it. I'm not gonna answer it again. Sorry, GG. I literally gave a really good explanation of it earlier and on in the VOD. I'm sorry. And we're done. Sorry. Someone can find it in the VOD. It was about an hour ago. I explained it really well. Can't remember when it was. Thug MCSR asked the question. It was at 6:36. It was an hour ago. It was 53 minutes ago. I explained it 53 minutes ago. Go check back in the VOD. Sorry. To improve as fast as possible from gold, should I be aiming for slower consistency or constantly limiting testing to getting better times? Considering that I don't mind losing elo and sucking for a bit if it eventually means being really good. Playing for consistency is good because for the rest of the time that you play, you should be playing for consistency. Playing for higher peaks is worse than playing consistently better, in my opinion. I think consistency and then practice private rooms for limit testing if you want. No point in limit testing on ladder. Why is it called Pearl Chest? HBG decided to call it Pearl Chest. We actually wanted to make an April Fool's video where we spawned a pearl in this chest. And we never ended up doing it. Oh, there it is. Most people actually call it 2-letter name chest because TLN had this in the world record, which helped him out a lot. But we call it pearl chest ever since because I don't know. It was actually an HB thing. It was actually it was an HBG thing for it to be called pearl chest because we were going to make an April Fool's video that that pearls can spawn in there, which just isn't true. I've never heard it called TLN chest. No, neither. Like I've heard it called it that, but pearl chest is way more common. Pearl chest initially was different, but then we used this to call it pearl chest. How do I get more consistent? I learned all bastions and all towers and zeros. I'm improving in overworlds, but I feel like I'm push it too much that I die a lot. Oh no. We learned all zeros without knowing how to not die. Oh, fuck. Typo. Okay, I don't know what your IGN is. TLDR, throw more gold, eat more food. Stop zeroing. Practice bastions. Stop learning zeros. There's no point in learning zeros if you're dying before you get to the end. That's what I'm saying. I hope that makes sense. The only way, wait, improving in overworlds, but I feel like I push it too much and I die a lot. Yeah, throw more gold, eat more food. That's it. Peter, you don't care about MCSR. You don't fuck with MCSR anymore, bro. You fuck with me. You're my friend. I didn't think that you cared about MCSR anymore. Yeah, you should definitely sub 20 RSG. It's free. Yeah, don't do ranked. Do it in RSG. You're goated. Yo. Oh, okay. Sorry about that. Got my food soon as well. Yeah. Throw more gold, eat more food. How do speedrunners up and lower their render so quickly? I know they use F3, how do they do it so quickly? Regedit. It's like a Windows setting. Or they use Linux, or supposedly it's in tool screen now as well. No confirmation on the tool screen thing. Tool screen does it now? Yeah, that's what I think, right? Filter keys is another thing that people use. Yeah, one of those three options. I don't, but yeah, I think it's good. How do you keep a good mental, especially in an elo deficit? I don't. I'm bad at keeping a good mental. I think that you have to treat it that as long as you're playing well, then you should keep queuing. But if you're not playing well, stop. That's it. Sorry. How do you speed bridge up? You do the same shit that you do when speed bridging across, except you jump. Yeah, I don't really know how else to explain it. Like, I'm toggling my jump and my shift while I do that, you know? I don't know. I don't really know how else to explain it. I don't know how the fuck you meant to do it diagonally, but... Why is the gold staircase still here? Oh my goddamn... Oh my god... Gold staircase still there. Wait. Why do Chungies pillar up and place a boat in the portal before blind? Please and thank you. Place a boat in the portal, realigns you for boat eye, allows your god sense to be back to green boat. You pillar up 1 block because it allows you to hit surface more often. So if my portal was like this, then by me building up here, my Y level that I'm going through my portal at is at 193 rather than 192. Just slightly more likely to hit surface by 1 block. And there's no reason not to. The reason that people do it with gravel is because if you're on a soul sand here, I'm at 192. I'm at 192.875, so it rounds down to 192, so it makes no difference. That's why you have to use a full block, like 193, like this. And yeah, do RSG. All right, cool. Chat, that's the end of the stream for today. Thank you all for being here. I will be live tomorrow, I think. Keep up to date on the Discord. I hope you guys got your questions out. I'm sorry if I didn't get around to answering them all. You can ask me other questions in other streams, and I'll usually answer them. I'm quite good at reading chat most of the time, but just letting you know. Okay, thank you all for being here. I'll be live again tomorrow, so hop into the Discord so you know when I'm going to go live. And I will see you all then. Let us go and raid. Let's go raid Curry, because Curry's doing his charity marathon. So let's go send our love over to him, okay? Have a beautiful rest of your day. I'll be live again tomorrow. I will see you all then. All right, chat. Bye, bye, bye.